pass, rolling to his right. They throw it, the in route to Tanner. Steck makes the catch. Steck dives for the pylon. Touchdown!
Up by the Nuggets, and an attack. That'll go for a kill from Anasteer.
LaMoure looks for a block, makes a man miss at the 5. End zone touchdown, swirls. Sets up middle. Jensen for the exclamation point kill.
30, the 20, the 15, the 10, and an 85-yard touchdown run for Landon Olsen.
Ulster Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
With 2 weeks left in the regular season, the LaMoure-Litchville Marion Lobos and the Maple River Raiders are jockeying for playoff positioning in the final home game of the regular season for Maple River here tonight in Hope. A pleasant, chilly fall Friday evening. I'm Chase Miller alongside Joey Hughes with our on-site producer. Nathan Hoots is our sideline color commentator, and this is the Irie Insurance pregame show. Last season, LaMoure-Litchville Marion shut out not once but twice Maple River, 50-0 in the season opener in Hope, where we had a half-hour lightning delay, and then a 44-0 second-round playoff win in LaMoure. There's no way to slice it other than the Lobos have been a thorn in the Raiders and a number of other team-sided nine-man football hoots in terms of their playoff run 2 years ago being the champs, last year making it to the semifinals. There's a lot of teams that say, yeah, we might not fare well against LLM on the football field.
Yeah, they have been quite the program for a long time. And, you know, on the Maple Valley portion of this co-op, LaMoure's been a thorn in the side since we moved down into nine-man in 2019. So it's been long-standing. I know the Findlay Sharon Hope Page in years past has had some success against LaMoure in the past, but LaMoure is a program that you could say top 5 in the state. You might say top 1 in the state in the past 5 years. They've been very impressive.
Let's take a look at the postseason outlook here with 2 weeks left to go in the regular season. We'll start with those Lobos before we talk about the Raiders. For the Lobos, a win tonight would mean LLM would be no worse than a number 3 seed out of Region 1 heading to the postseason, and they would also clinch a playoff spot. A loss, though, Hoots, this evening would make the final week of the regular season ever more intriguing with their home matchup against LaMoure-Litchville, as the Warbirds are idle this week, and Maple River then would own the head-to-head with the Lobos before they finish off the regular season in Sargent County, and if potential, the Raiders and the Lobos would finish with the same record in Region 1. Maple River would own the head-to-head. So this is a large game first and foremost for the Lobos. They can still clinch the 2 seed even with a loss here tonight, but then that is almost a must-win game for the Lobos coming up a week from Friday, Hoots.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool scenarios that you can kind of go, you know, if you're a mathematician, maybe you can figure it out, but there are so many things that can happen in the next 2 weeks with a lot of top seed, you know, this game tonight and then next week with Sargent County and Maple River, and then also with LaMoure and Wyoming. There's so many different things that can happen. It's just exciting for both programs to have a game in October that is extremely meaningful, not just for can we get into the playoffs, but where we're seated. Do we get to host in that first round? Who can we avoid in that first round is really important.
For Maple River, on their side, a win here this evening and a Hankinson loss at Richland. Well, that would mean the Raiders would clinch a postseason spot. So they need a win here tonight, and then they need a Richland Colt win over the Hankinson Pirates and Colfax this evening. However, a loss here tonight and a Hankinson win over Richland means then the Raiders a week from tonight would have to go to Milner and top the number 1 team in the state in Sargent County and need Hankinson to travel to Cooperstown and lose to Griggs Dakota. Hoots, this feels about as close to a quote-unquote in parentheses must-win of a game for Maple River with those postseason aspirations on the line.
Yeah, you never want to say that something can't happen, but those are, you know, one of those 2 things could happen. The likelihood that both of them happen is unlikely. You never know what a team, you know, ranked number 1 in the state, knowing they're going to be, you know, hosting throughout, what they're going to do with their starters in the final week of the year. You know, scenarios like that could come up, but you control your own destiny. If you win tonight, good things are, you know, possible on the horizon for the Raider football team.
This is one of those games, too, when you look at it, Hoots, at the end of the day, for these 2 particular teams, Maple River and LaMoure-Litchville Marion. Last year, as we mentioned, the Lobos shut them out twice. So what is the final thing for you, Hoots, before we get to our coaches' conversation? What's the mental mindset here? Because they look at LaMoure-Litchville Marion, they have 2 losses, one against a ranked North Prairie team at the time that was previously a number 1 team and also won against a number 1 team in Sargent County. Maple River, again, trimmed it a little bit to the second time they played them last year in the playoffs, but still there was a wide margin. So what is the mentality from a Maple River viewpoint first going up against this Lobo team, who, as we mentioned, has really been the king on the block for a number of years here in 9-man football?
Yeah, you just got to put everything that's happened in the past, and you don't worry about that at all. I guarantee 15-0 and 44-0, that hasn't come up this year or this week in practice with the Raiders. Just being able to, a little closer in person with them throughout the week, being in the same school, there's a lot of confident players out there that, a winning streak in the middle of the year really gives confidence. It doesn't matter who you beat. If you win, you're going to be confident and have some momentum going into games. I really hope that if they win the toss or however the toss goes, that the Raiders get the ball to start the game. Try to play from ahead in this game. Show them that, hey, we're here to play and our offense is for real, because it certainly has been for real for quite some time here.
There's been a number of points scored. We'll talk about that as well in the pregame show, and we'll go over the postseason landscape with out-of-town scores rolling on through here tonight. But when we come back, we'll be joined by LaMoure-Litchville Marion head coach Andy Delabarre. Maple River head coach Larry Fontaine will join us as well. It's the Lobos of LaMoure-Litchville Marion and the Raiders of Maple River for a 9-man Region 1 contest on yourliveevent.com.
In Hope, North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities. There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota.
Dakota Heritage Bank, serving you with 10 locations across North Dakota and northwestern Minnesota, has a strong background in ag and business lending, but they can also help with auto, recreational, personal, or home loans, including home equity lines of credit. Dakota Heritage Bank is a family-owned community bank where decisions are made locally. Our friendly staff greets you with a smile, takes the time to get to know you, and can help you with your banking needs. Visit us online, dhbanknd.com. Dakota Heritage Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
As we continue on our Irie Insurance pregame show here today from Hope, it's the LaMoure-Litchville Marion Lobos going up against the Maple River Raiders. Joining us now from LLM, that's their head coach in Andy Delabarre. And Andy, crazy to think there's just 2 weeks left to go in the regular season. Teams are jockeying for postseason opportunities and maybe seed lines a little bit as we enter these final 2 weeks. 5-2 mark for you guys overall, 5-1 in Regional 1. How would you assess your team this season, going into this playoff push here the last couple weeks of the regular season?
Well, you're right. It's gone fast. We're down to these last two games here to kind of set up our playoff picture, and 2 important games for us to really play well against Maple River, and then again Widener next week. So so far this season, it's been a great experience for our team to gel into the team that we are now. We're 5-2, and the one loss in our region coming to Sargent County, and then the other loss outside of the region to North Prairie, and both of those teams were, I think at one point we're number 1 in the state, if not now. And so some good talent that we've played against, and I think that's helped build up our level of play, our level of physicality. Some years you kind of look at those games and go, I don't want to play that game, especially like a North Prairie that's a non-conference. But I'm really happy that we did, and the outcome of that game, even though it was a loss, I think we really took some strides as to being the team that we are now. Every coach says, we want to peak here later in the season, and I still don't think we've peaked yet. I still think there's room for us to continue to get better. There are mistakes that are correctable, and with the youth that we have on our team this season, that's a good sign in a way. That you say, well, mistakes aren't a good sign, but correctable ones are, and we're certainly starting to gel and correct a lot of those mistakes.
And when I looked at your roster here, Andy, from what was last year's roster, I said, okay, there's guys who have played varsity, but there is almost an entirely different new offensive and defensive starting lineup for you. So how has that kind of continued to, so to speak, mold as the weeks have gone on here, maybe putting guys in different positions than what they were in prior years, or seeing kind of what works best as every week kind of, goes throughout the season here, Andy?
Yeah, certainly. We can look back. I think in the last our 7 games we've played so far, I think our lineup's changed almost every game. There's been our core position guys where they've always played that spot, but at some point throughout the season, it feels like we're rotating, guys in different spots, and that's a good thing too that we have some depth as well. But yeah, we graduated a lot last year, and the seniors that we have now, and the juniors and sophomores, even some freshmen that are playing some meaningful varsity. Well, they've really come to take ownership of that position and that role that they're playing here now, and they've in the past have always kind of had to hide under the shadow of that senior class that we had last year because they were so talented and we had so many. But it's good to see these guys come out of their shell. Just a couple off the top of my head is like Max Muslin, Blaze Isaacson, Ryder Wendell. Those 3 seniors alone have really come out of their shell and shown that they're a good player within our region and within the state.
Let's talk about some more of your guys here. I mean, you look down at the box score and I see Gunnar Theolgis, right, a sophomore. I see his name in some capacity impacting the game, finding ways to get in the end zone. What have you liked from an underclassman so far here this season, Andy?
Gunner's our Swiss Army knife. He can do just about anything. We can mix him in at quarterback, running back. He's got great speed. He's strong. Just a tough, hard-nosed football player too. So great that he's a sophomore. That he's doing what he's doing as a sophomore because I know for him he's just going to keep growing and getting better. And even defensively too, just the ability he has of covering field and pass coverage, but just a smart football player too. He's got a really good football IQ. When you can combine that football IQ with the talent and the ability he has, it makes for a special player.
And then Owen Lesko, I know we were chatting before this pregame saying, this is a guy who's had to deal with some injuries the last couple of years, and a knock on wood that everything has gone well for Owen this year and continues to go well for him, Andy. But what has Owen Lesko brought to this year's Lobo team?
Just straight out toughness, straight out just energy and his emotions. I mean, there's a definite different vibe on the field when he's playing, both offense and defensively. He's very strong. He's got great speed. Again, another hard-nosed football player, and I think he brings up that kicks up that enthusiasm too for our guys that it's contagious, and I think everyone else kind of feeds off of him, and so just to have him back from an emotional side, same thing on the physical side, but just an all-around good football player, and just having overcome a lot here the last couple of years. He loves football and just glad to see him out here being able to play.
Going up against Maple River, you've been in Hope a lot in the last couple of years. We were kind of joking. It seems like you guys always, how the regions switch, you still find a way to, get to the Hope area for a football contest. And now you're going up against Maple River, a team you played twice last year in Hope, once in LaMoure in the playoffs. First meeting this year, Andy. But when you take a look at Maple River, what stands out about a Coach Fontaine team this year and what makes them maybe a little bit different than in years prior?
Well, I think their tradition has always been there, and I think that's going to continue here with this team. They're physical and fast up front. Their quarterback T. Silling's a good athlete, a good quarterback in general too. So I mean, he's someone we're going to have to keep an eye on. They got a good back, number 3. I think it's the Bosch kid, if I'm pronouncing it right. So I know Coach Fontaine's got some talent there, and I know he's going to utilize that talent wherever he can. And yeah, we're expecting this to be a good ball game here Friday.
Final thing for you, Andy, before I let you go, your keys. What's the one thing you need to do well here against a Maple River team to try to pick up a victory and then have a chance to finish off the regular season at home against the Warbirds a week from Friday here?
Yeah, so just like any game, we got to take care of the football as far as ball security. Keep it in our hands on offense. Defensively is going to be a huge key for us to get off the field. They're between their run game and their passing game. We're going to have to really defend the run well, contain and keep those lanes as small as we can. Make our open field tackling a lot easier for our secondary, our linebackers, and just having good pursuit by our linemen as well. I think if we can really control the line of scrimmage up front, both offensively and defensively, we're going to be able to put drives together on offense. But certainly do a good job of getting us off the field and putting the ball back in our possession. So yeah, it's a lot, just like any other game. I know the weather is going to be a little different than what we've had here with the heat. So maybe that'll be nice to have a cooler game, a kind of a true feel of a fall football weather. But we're excited. We're ready to play another week of football.
Andy, as always, thanks so much for your time and best of luck tonight here against the Raiders.
Yeah, thank you, Chase.
Andy Delabar with us here on our pregame show. We'll continue after this, where we'll hear from Maple River head coach Larry Fontaine as part of our Coach's Corner. Agri Valley Insurance is a local independent insurance agency located in LaMoure and Arthur. They specialize in providing coverage for your crop, hail, farm, home, auto, and commercial requests. Agri Valley Insurance has access to many different companies and will work hard to provide for your specific needs. Go to agrivalleyinsurance.com or call your local office in LaMoure or Arthur for a free quote or to discuss your insurance requests. Agri Valley Insurance wishes the best of luck to the area local teams.
R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is hiring a full-time play-by-play sports announcer and broadcast sales representative. Duties include selling advertising time for radio, digital, video streaming, and regional cable TV. Play-by-play responsibilities include live play-by-play of local sporting events for radio, video streaming, and regional cable TV broadcasts. Wage plus talent and commission pay structure with full-time benefits package offered. For more information or to apply, email apply@rjbroadcasting.com. That's apply@rjbroadcasting.com.
With us now on our Irie Insurance pregame show from the Maple River Raiders, that's head coach Larry Fontaine as they welcome in the LaMoure-Litchville Marion Lobos here to hope in the final regular season home game of the season. The Raiders will travel down to Sargent County next week to close out the regular season. But for you guys, Larry, I remember chatting with you a month ago. You said you needed to get on a run and find a way to pick up some wins. You were able to do that with LaMoure, and you added to it with wins over Richland, and Hatton Northwood was in the mix as well, Griggs, Dakota. So what have you liked about your team most from the last month of the football season here, Larry?
Hi, good afternoon, Chase. How are you?
Doing well, Coach. Thanks.
Yeah, I guess the kids picked it up and they knew what they had to do. And our goal at the beginning of the year was to get to the playoffs. And after the loss to Hankinson, we knew what we had the last two games. Two of the perennial challengers in our area. So we knew we had to go on a run, and the kids have taken up that responsibility, taken up that challenge, and have played really well. I think the loss at Hankinson really got us focused and made us realize that, they have to work hard and we got to coach better. And, we took it as a challenge to win those next 4 games.
Able to do that. There's been a couple of players that we always like to mention, and maybe some of them get overlooked. Others, are on full display. I know we talked about Owen Tickey, a freshman playing at the line this year. Let's talk about some other linemen here, Larry. First things first, Parker Chase, just what'd you like from his performance last week against the Colts?
We had penciled Parker in to start this year. He's a big kid. We thought he played a little bit last year. We thought he would have a good year. But, it just practice just wasn't going for him. He just wasn't working. He was hurt a lot, wasn't doing what we wanted him to do in practice. Hence, we start the freshman, Owen Tickey. But I don't know, about a week and a half ago, we saw a change. We did a little drill, a competition drill in practice, and he won that amongst our linemen. And he just started putting a little more effort into practice, started working harder, got healthy, and we thought we'd give him a shot on senior day. And we watched him over tape, and we liked what he had done, and we know he's a strong kid. He just needs to get off the ball a little quicker, and maybe he just figured it out. Sometimes it takes kids longer to figure it out, and he figured it out and was having some good practices, and we felt we could play him.
And someone also that I've been hearing a lot more in terms of making tackles, making an impact on the game has been Frank Martin from the first week of the season to where he's at now, Larry. It seems like he's being part of the rotation more. Also, he's finding his nose to the football here. So what have you seen from Frank's play over the last couple of weeks?
Frankie has never played football. Good kid. Football is foreign to him. He come out. He's got size. He's got speed. He's strong. He's got athletic ability. Just needs to learn the game and be a football player. Being a football player is a tough gig. You gotta be, you got to play with injuries. You got to play hurt. and he's kind of a funny guy. Oh, I hurt that. Yeah, it's football, bud. Oh yeah, he likes football. He doesn't mind the physicality of it, and he's getting to learn the game more. He's getting to understand the game more, putting him in place, in positions where he can help us out. And he's good on the D line right now. We put him on there and use your speed, get off the ball, bud, and use your strength to make some tackles. So yeah, he's come a long way.
And you mentioned someone getting injured and a guy that came back from an injury bug. Caleb Dow's, last week makes a couple of really nice plays, across the middle there at that wide receiver winger spot for you here, Larry. So it's nice to get him back. And also with him and Preston, the two brothers, playing alongside, but also you get another upperclassman back into your starting rotation.
Yeah, he helps a lot. We missed him against Wyndmere game when he got hurt with a concussion in Wyndmere. We kind of fell apart a little bit. We didn't have anybody really to replace him in the backfield. Yeah, he's a great kid. He's been playing football for me since 7th grade. Has great hands, as you saw last week, and he's smart. He knows the game, knows where to be. He knows kind of a leader out there. He'll tell kids, you got him, you have him, you cover him. He's just a leader, and we expect a lot out of him, and we're really, really happy to have him back.
Your opponent tonight here in LaMoure-Litchville, Marion, I know seeing their roster from what they had last year, Larry, to just this year, just looking at the guys who felt like they were there for probably a generation, right? The Nesses, the Hebels of the world, it just seemed like they were starting as sophomores, juniors, and seniors. They're gone. They still have good nucleus back. They're still going to have athletes as that program has. But how much has changed from what you've seen from a Coach Delabarre team, or is it kind of the same old LaMoure, just maybe some, different faces and different positions from the last 3-4 years?
Last year they lost 11 seniors that, had been starting since, freshman and sophomore years. They still have a Theologist back. They still have a Hebel. They still have another kid. I can't remember the young man's last name. But yeah, they still have a good group of athletes. They run the same thing. They run the double wing, and they run the same defense. They do the 4-man front, the 2-2, and then the safety. So it's, it's something that they've established for the last 4 years, at least, that we've been playing in 5 years. And, they just have a big line, a fast line, and they run behind their line, and they don't throw a lot of deep balls. They do that little tight end out a lot, but it's a lot of the same thing. But we're just glad we get to play them in Hope this year. We've been going to LaMoure the last 3 years, so they finally get to come here, and we're looking forward to playing them at home. We know we're going to have our hands full, but we're expecting a good game.
Last thing for you, Coach Fontaine, before we let you go, ultimately keys to the game. What's one or two things Maple River has to do well here tonight against the Lobos to try to come out with a victory here at home tonight?
We think we're going to score. We got to keep them off the field. We're going to take as much time off the clock as we can. We have some athletic kids. We don't have a lot of size. We looked at each other this week and we were laughing. We probably, our heaviest kid might be 220, and that's Parker. T is 190. Carter's 140. All right, I think if we did a mean average of our weight, we might get 165. We got a bunch of Larry Fontaines on this football team. I played high school football at 155. I mean, that's what we have. So we're going to use our abilities. We're gonna use our athletic guys to get the ball in the hands of T, get the ball in the hands of Carter, Connor, and Caleb. Use their speed, outside speed. They're bigger than us on the line. It's going to be tough for us to run the ball on the inside, but we're going to have to run the ball a little bit. We like running the ball, but if we can control the outside, if we can get some, momentum and get some quick scores and stop them, we got to be able to stop them on defense. I think we'll be okay.
Larry, as always, thanks so much for your time and best of luck against the Lobos here this evening.
Thanks, Chase. Have a great day.
We'll continue on our pregame show after this from Hope.
Hey growers, when working on your water management solutions, call Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. They are your water management contractor, helping you with tile drainage plans, service drainage plans, or both. Remember, water management is a lifetime investment. Call Chad 701-430-0182 to get your water problem solved. For more information, follow Chad's Excavating on Facebook For tile drainage and service plans, call 701-430-0182. Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
I'm Mandy Latour. I'm confident in the game, and when it's time for college, I'm confident Bank of North Dakota will help me make good student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident.
I'm Darian Bitts. I'm confident on and off the field. And when it's time for college, I'm confident Bank of North Dakota will help me make good student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident.
As we continue on our Irie Insurance pregame show, get the insurance protection you want with customer service you deserve at Irie Insurance. They cover it all from home, crop, commercial, and benefits insurance. Go to IrieInsurance.com to get a free quote today. Chase Miller, Nathan Hoots, Joey Hughes with you here from Hope as we take a look at this game. Hoots, points and more points is what we expect tonight as LaMoure-Litchville Marion averages 43 points per contest and Maple River averages 36 points per contest. You said one of your keys might be the opening coin toss, so the Lobos won and elected to receive. So how would you go about trying to stop either one of these teams here tonight, because they can come out of the eye, they can come out of shotgun, they do a little bit of everything?
I think you can see a lot of pressure being dialed up by Maple River tonight to try to slow down this rushing attack that the LaMoure has. And, you know, the more the merrier in the box is kind of the Fontaine philosophy on defense. So I could see up to, 8, maybe even 9 guys in the box, depending on what kind of formation they come out in, and just try to load up and stop the horse they got in the backfield.
Also games tonight in Region 1, Hatton Northwood at Sargent County. You have Hankinson at Richland. Hatton Northwood at Sargent County, that game with on yourliveevent.com. And then LaMoure-Litchville, they are idle. So welcome all the Warbird fans watching here this evening, going up against the Lobos next week in LaMoure. Biggest key to the game for you, Hoots, in this contest between the Raiders and the Lobos? Is it a particular player? Is it a particular side of the football? What is a key here tonight from either standpoint for our Coach Delabar or Coach Fontaine squad?
I think it's going to be, how so many times this year the Raiders have gotten away with being undersized because of their speed on the outside and all the athletes that they have that can get the ball in their hands. Tonight is going to be a test that they have not had yet this year with the offense and defensive line. The trenches of LaMoure is unlike, like I said, anything that they've faced this year. Are they going to be able to get off the field defensively in a timely manner? They can't give up 12, 14-play drives and then big hits. They're going to have to try to get them off the field, force some punts, force some turnovers, and hope the good things happen on offense.
That does it for our Irie Insurance pregame show. When we come back after this, it's the starting lineups and the opening kick from Hope. It's the 5-2 Raiders and the 5-2 Lobos tonight in Hope, North Dakota for high school football on your live event.
Triple E Incorporated in Page is cheering on the Raiders as they compete on and off the court and field. They put in the effort to build a team with trust, experience, and the ability to accomplish their goals. The team at Triple E Incorporated is built the same way, with knowledge and experience, with timeliness and efficiency. For your next non-residential building project, go online to eeeinc.com or stop by the office in Page for more information. Make your next project a winner with the team at Triple E Incorporated in Page.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
Let's get real. Get ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. The University of Minnesota Crookston offers more than 35 majors, minors, and certificates. Earn a University of Minnesota degree, where you can make a difference in a close-knit community. Faculty become friends and friends feel like family. You don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, and will get you ready for anything.
Located on the beautiful Goose River in Hillsboro, the Goose River Golf Club offers both recreational and experienced golfers a great round. It's a 9-hole course open to the public, located right off exit 104 on I-29. The Goose River Golf Club in Hillsboro offers annual memberships for singles and families, also college memberships, first-time memberships, and outside 30-mile radius of Hillsboro membership available as well. Men's Day is Wednesday, Ladies' Day is Tuesday. You can learn more about getting on the Goose River Golf Club, GooseRiverGolfClub.com.
Hometown Community Bank serves both the Hope Page and Maple Valley school districts. If you're interested in an egg loan, real estate, consumer, or commercial loan, Hometown Community Bank can serve you. Give Dwight a call at either branch location in Page or Fingal. Ask Janine about the competitive certificates of deposit or money market rates. Hometown Community Bank is a community bank and proud of the communities they serve, and they wish the best of luck to the Maple River Raiders for many years moving forward with the co-op. Hometown Community Bank is a member of the FDIC.
The LaMoure-Litchville Marion Lobos again won the opening coin toss, and they will start things off on the offensive side of the football, averaging 43 points per contest, while defensively giving up 19 points per game. They'll go like this. Starting at a center is the sophomore Gavin Christensen at 5'9" and a $190. The right guard is this evening Tucker Jones, a sophomore at 6 foot 185, and the left guard Ryder Wendell, a senior at 6 foot and 180. Tight ends of Brian Carlgard, a 6'3" junior at 175 with 5 receiving touchdowns here so far this season. Owen Lesko, a junior at 6 foot, 210 pounds. Your wide receiver of Blaze Isaacson, Cale Hebel, is the junior fullback. Your tailback, but also receiver and a quarterback. They call him a Swiss Army knife with Coach Delabar. That is Gunnar Thielges, a sophomore, and Max Muslin at quarterback and a wide receiver here for the Lobos. Head coach Andy Delabar with a mark of 5 wins and 2 losses here on the season. We go from there now to the Maple River defense. They'll play a 4-4 here this evening with defensive ends of T and Calvin Santrum. You have Dylan Zahn and Levi Treader, your tackles. Linebackers of Bosch, Strogan, Dahl, and Dowse, and Caleb Dowse here is your safety. Hey fans, the Lost in the Valley Corn Maze and Pumpkin Patch runs on Fridays through Sundays until October the 29th at the Red River Valley Fairgrounds in West Fargo. There's new activities this year with jumping pillow, a trike track, playground photo opportunities, and more. And the Dazed in the Maze for adults plus 21. That'll be October 13th and the 27th. Get your tickets, and for more information, go to online to RedRiverValleyFair.com. That is RedRiverValleyFair.com. I know it's Nathan Hoots' favorite thing once we come to the fall is those corn mazes and pumpkin patches there, Hoots.
I'm going to pretend that my microphone and headset went out there. I'm hoping my wife isn't watching.
The Maple River Raiders and the LaMoure-Litchville Marion Lobos here will kick things off as we get ready for this football game between the Raiders and the Lobos. As Maple River will put this one up on the tee with Calvin Santrum. Back for the returners, here's going to be Gunnar Thielges and Avery Kramer. On the opposite side for the Lobos. The Raiders in their blue uniforms, well, for the Lobos, they're in their white uniforms here tonight with the black pants with the Lobo logo on either side of the helmet. For Maple River with the Raider logo on one side with the numerals out, and again, all blue uniforms. The opening kickoff is underway here as we get things started at 7:03 on a Friday night. This one will be downed at the 35-yard line here for the Lobos. How do you guard someone, Hoots, like a Gunnar Thielges, who's coming off a really nice performance for the Lobos last week against Hankinson with 287 yards rushing and 63 yards passing through the air and 5 touchdowns?
You know, you're not exactly facing the same offensive line like you did last week against Richland, but Wolfgool kind of gave them a nice little dress rehearsal. You know, are they going to line up the exact same way? Probably not, because they do have a passing game. But it's a guy that, you know, you got to load up against, and right away, 8 guys in the box, and let's play football.
As they will come out here, I formation with Thielges dotting the I. Muslin goes under center right off the bat. Everyone close to the line except for one wide receiver. And Thielges, he could go on the first play from scrimmage. He's looking to go 65 yards for a house call. Breaks a tackle, and he's gone. 11 seconds into the contest, and right on cue, Thielges with a house call.
That was quite the seam created by the offensive line right there by the Lobos. And not many teams have been able to get to the second level against the Raiders. A lot of times the linebackers are coming uncovered, and right there they got all covered up by those linemen.
Well, all of a sudden you said, okay, you're going to play a 4-4, you're going to put a lot of pressure in the middle, but what that does, Hoots, is if you're not going to have a safety over the top, if you break a tackle, you could have a lot of gashing plays like this.
There's no third level of defense. You get through past the second level, typically you're looking at a 12, 15-yard gain and not 65.
Shotgun formation. Theoljus in the shotgun with Avery Kramer lined up to his right. Rolling Theoljus passing. This one is going to be incomplete. The intended receiver on the play was Blaze Isaacson. We have a new score, though, on our City of Hope scoreboard. Lobos up by 6.
Hope Page Public Schools are committed to the development of all students by providing a high-quality education that is reflective of the strong values in our communities. The staff at Hope Page Public Schools work each day to enable and inspire students to achieve academic excellence and make positive contributions to our world. Learn more about Hope Page Public Schools by visiting hopepage.k12.nd.us. We are Hope Page, and we will change the world.
Farmers, are you expanding, upgrading, or want to automate? Visit with the experienced staff at Hope Electric to learn about the latest electrical systems and the newest technologies that they have developed to make your operation more efficient. Get a custom system in place with features like iPad truck loading and remote view grain storage, touchscreen controls, hazard monitoring systems, and wireless cellular cameras to protect your assets. Hope Electric, serving the agricultural and commercial industry since 1978. Visit hopeelectric.com or call 701-945-2460.
One play from scrimmage, and it starts with a bang. Hoots, I don't know what it is about the first play here in Hope. Last week we had it for Maple River with Silling to Drogan. This week it's with Theoljus here for the Lobos that they put this one on the tee with Juan Cruz. This will be a tough one. Good little bounce, though, by Dowes, who takes it at the 42-yard line. That was a spinner there by Preston to do a good job to cover it at the 42.
Yeah, the best thing he did was just getting possession right there, but you could tell he hasn't faced the physicality and the speed of LaMoure. There was some serious hesitation right there. It was a lot of pitter-patter rather than going downhill.
So for Maple River here, as we mentioned, they started off with a touchdown on their first play from scrimmage. Last week with Silling, with Drogan. And now it will be shotgun formation here, as they will come out with quads on the near side, one to the right here. Silling is going to play a numbers game right now here for the Raiders. Lobos trying to answer with Muslin playing a single high safety. Silling then just going to take it to the outside, spreads everybody out, and put the helmet down for about a 6-yard gain.
That is exactly. I'm assuming they had some type of an outside throw over there, but you just play the numbers. It was 4-on-4 out to the left. Don't do that. Play 3-on-2 football. It makes 4-on-2 or 4-on-3 when you add T into the mix with the numbers game.
For Maple River, their center of Calvin Santrum, your guards of Levi Trader and Parker Chase, your tight end of Preston Dowes and Stephen Drogan, winger of Caleb Dowes, Connor Dahl, the fullback, tailback of Carter Bosch, and T. Silling at quarterback. And they will come out with the same formation, 5 guys on the line, Silling in the backfield, 2nd down and 4, ball nearly at midfield. Silling rolling, looking, passing, firing, and he finds his man at the 40 to the 35. And for the Maple River Raiders, they have their first down of the night, as that one goes to Preston Dowes for a nice little pitch and catch.
Yeah, Raider offensive line gave up immediate pressure, which doesn't, bode well going forward, but that was a great play. T felt that pressure off his backside, rolled right, and then Preston did a great job of just sitting down in a soft spot, waited, and then T hit him.
18 yards here for Silling on the pitch and catch. The Lobos defense will have 2 down linemen with Tucker Jones and Ryder Wendell. Linebackers of Hebo, Lesko, Theoljus, and Carl guard, that's Gunner. Then defensive backs of Kubi Theoljus, the younger brother, Max Muslin, and Blaze Isaacson here for the Lobos. 1st and 10, Maple River. Silling looking for a little bit of a crease. We have a flag down here on the near sideline. It's about a gain of 1 with the tackle by Tucker Jones.
It may have looked at both receivers on the left side, might have been off the line of scrimmage, which might make for an illegal formation.
And that's exactly what it was. First penalty of the contest goes against Maple River, but Hoots, there's the stat that kind of stands out here for the Lobos this season. In their 5 wins, they've averaged 49 points per game. They've given up 5. Their 2 losses, albeit to 2 quality programs, they've given up 57, but they've scored 31. So even in the 2 losses, the Lobos can put up a ton of points.
Yeah, their offense it's a combination of balance plus those big-time plays that we've already seen tonight.
Shotgun formation here for Silling. As to the left of him is Carter Bosch. Clean snap, 1st and 15 here for Silling, looking, rolling, still has some time. Pocket here for Silling, gonna have to throw it. That's gonna be caught right in front at about the 33-yard line. Silling really stretched out that play for as long as he could, and Caleb Dowse comes up with it for a 7-yard catch.
Yeah, it was a great job by Silling, just extending the play as long as possible. The Raiders got a bit of a gift. Dowse may have stepped out of bounds and then came back in and been the first to touch it, but hey, it was a great job of reestablishing and giving the ref something to look at, that maybe something different that I saw.
You could say this, 2 things: really good defense by the Lobos to stretch that play out, then pursuit for Silling, but better job by Silling there, who's throwing through some traffic and eventually finding a guy.
It looks like it's going to be less pressure and more just keeping him in the pocket as best they can right here.
Silling, quick screen, goes to Connor Dahl, looking for a block. Then Dahl's going to get wrapped up in a good-looking play here by Hebel, the junior, with 28 tackles coming into tonight, and that's one where if you're Maple River, got to put your foot in the ground and try to get some yards, as Dahl loses about a yard on the play.
During this winning streak, the Raiders have really been able to block exteriorly with those receivers, and Dahl out there wide. They've been kind of able to maul the opposing D-backs. Tonight might be a little bit of a different story.
On our City of Hope scoreboard, work and play in Hope, North Dakota. From job listings and housing options, go online to hopend.com. Maple River will handle it. A 3rd down here. They will need to get just past the 25 for the first. Wishbone formation. Handoff goes to Bosch. Bosch looks for a little bit of a crease, and it's not there. It's a gang tackle of Lobos as they come up with the play on the particular. Owen Lesko was one of those in on the play here for the Lobos.
Might be the latest into a quarter this year that the Raiders have given the ball to Bosch. First time he's had a touch tonight. You could tell they were sitting all over that counter. It was probably the very first thing that they're looking at whenever the Raiders go into that wing T look.
So 4th down and 9, and we've seen everything so far from Maple River, just your traditional shotgun. We've saw a first time, and we've seen Larry Fontaine do this every week. Hoots have a little wrinkle so far on the offensive side, and the first time we've seen the wing T for make that the wishbone formation.
Yeah, wishbone, correct. Thank you for correcting me there. But yes, it's been a long time since we've seen it, so it hasn't exactly been in our vocabulary.
Silling, 2-man pressure. Silling rolls, fires. This one to be caught right at the sticks and spun around. It's going to depend on the spot. They need the 24.5, and they're going to give him the 25.
They did not give him forward progress. The ref was in a very, very debatable position right there. He was inside, almost close to the numbers, officiating when he's supposed to be on the sideline. That makes for a very difficult spot.
Colby Thiel just comes in on the tackle. That was about, they needed 9.5, and that was about 9 is what they got on the play.
It's tough as a former coach to say anything good about what just happened right there. I think the spot is a bit debatable.
So that's a turnover on downs now here for the Raiders, as the Lobos will come out with the football at their own 34-yard line here, as they will handle it. Muslin rolls into the flat, finds Hebel. Hebel gets a block to the 40 at the numbers 50. Stiff arms him, and he's taking Raiders with him all the way down to about the 43-yard line.
It's a great job play calling right there for the Lobos. You gash them the first time. They had loaded up, once again, 8 in the box, go play action, and if one guy makes a mistake, you're going to have somebody running open just like that.
23-yard pitch and catch here for LLM, as they really come down with that one, and we'll get a timeout here for head coach Larry Fontaine. We'll break as well, nearing the midway point of the quarter. 1st and 10 Lobos when we come back.
Mother Nature can strike at any time, and Irie Insurance is here to help. Experience the difference with Irie. Get the insurance protection you want with the customer service you deserve.
Home insurance, auto insurance, crop insurance, commercial insurance, benefits insurance.
We have you covered from head to toe, underground to sky. Go to IrieInsurance.com to get a free quote.
Coach Fontaine takes an early timeout, and so far 2 plays for the Lobos from scrimmage. One that goes 65 yards on the ground, one that goes 23 yards in the air. And Hoots, my Fargo Shanley Deacon math would say that's 88 yards of offense in 2 plays here for LLM.
And my Milner math tells me that's 44 yards of play. So,
there you go.
Yeah, they got some adjusting to do. It'd be interesting to see, do they come out with a safety over the top here to protect, or are they just going to keep playing that 4-4 and hope that they can stuff the run?
88 yards, there we go. You know, just looking at it, but either way, I like the Milner math a little bit better. Plus, it's MM. You just like it a little more.
That's right, yeah.
First down and 10. I'll ask you, what did maybe Coach Fontaine draw up defensively here to try to stop this Lobo attack? Isaacson to the near side. Under center is going to be Max Muslin. You'll see him and Thiel just between that quarterback spot throughout the night. And Thiel just going to break another tackle, and he's off to the races. 30, 20, 10, touchdown, Lobos. This goes 42 yards to the house, and the Lobos get their second touchdown of the game. This with a Thiel just 42-yard score.
The offensive line of the Lobos are just tossing the defensive linemen for the Raiders in whatever direction they want. And if the fill is a step slow, and you know what, they're probably going to be a step slow, the way they got beat on that play action the play before, they just hesitated a second, and that crease was there once again. 1 broken tackle, touchdown.
2 plays, 66 yards, 23 seconds comes off the clock, and so far for Gunnar Thiel, just 2 rushes for 107 yards and 2 touchdowns. 2-point conversion upcoming here for the Lobos, as they will come out with the quarterback here in Gunnar Theogis. Keeper stretches to the outside here, puts the helmet down, and he's not going to get there. Carter Bosch was able to make the tackle, but again, we have a new score on our City of Hope scoreboard. It is LLM 12 and Maple River scoreless on your live event.
LaMoure Hardware carries your everyday items for plumbing, electrical, automotive, and more. Check out their latest selection of Milwaukee tools, from M18 fuel impact wrenches, new cordless 70K BTU heaters, chainsaws, and more. There's over 250 Milwaukee tools to choose from. Plus, browse their sweet pickins section. You'll see brand new furniture and decor. LaMoure Hardware is your community one-stop shop. For more info on all the services LaMoure Hardware offers, go online to LaMoureHardware.com.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
Back here on yourliveevent.com, first quarter of play. City of Hope scoreboard at LaMoure-Litchville, Marion 12, Maple River scoreless here in a 9-man Region 1 contest. Lobo's going to squib kick it here for an onside kick opportunity, and fortunate for Maple River, they were ready for that one. That's the old, we're going to clap and get into our spot, instead run up there, quickly squib kick it. Maple River did a good job with Calvin Santrum and Jonah Thompson being ready for that, as Satcham picks up at the 42.
Yeah, you could definitely tell they'd seen that on film, because they were waiting for it. As soon as they broke, they were screaming over here on the sideline.
And right now, if you're Maple River, well, you're in a spot, 6:58. Don't want to let this game get too out of hand early for the Raiders if you're unable to put something up in the end zone here, as they will come out with Silling, rolls right-hand side. Silling, pocket collapses. Silling's going to get hog-tied and wrapped down for a loss. It's about a loss of 10. Ryder Wendell, the senior, comes in for his second sack of the season.
Yeah, it's a tough sight to see if you're an offensive player for the Raiders, when Silling's being surrounded by 3 Lobos and you can't really see an offensive lineman in sight. I think they had him set up. They were trying to run a double move over here with the receiver, but just couldn't create any separation. And with that safety sitting over the top and making sure that he's deeper than the deepest, it's going to be tough to manufacture big plays.
Well, Coach Fontaine knew maybe that the running game is not going to be here as much as maybe against other teams, because of how the Lobos can attack with those angles, which means Silling Hoots is going to have to make plays, whether it is with his feet like that, or possibly with his arm throughout the night.
Absolutely, he's going to have to be a two-dimensional quarterback all game long.
Speed option here, Silling looking to keep it, and then gets wrapped up as Hebel comes in on the tackle for the Lobos on the outside. The junior right now, well, playing like his brother Garrett Hebel, his also His father is one of the assistant coaches this season, again, for the Lobos.
The Lobos do such a good job with their awkward alignment. They play two guys typically in either in the A or B gap as D tackles, and then they have such wide ends or outside backers, whatever you want to call them. It makes it so difficult to run the option, run outside against them, and then they got, like I said, those two D tackles. If they can take those guys on 2-on-3 up front, the numbers were great for the Lobos.
Maple River will go twins both left and right. Muslin playing a one high safety. 4 guys in the box here. Lobos looking to show a late blitz. Silling, we have a flag coming out here. Silling trying to get to the edge, and then he's going to get wrapped up by Fieldjus on the outside all the way past the 30 to about the 29, as it's currently a 6-yard loss, barring what the penalty is.
Didn't quite get a good look as to whether was it a pre-snap flag or was it late or during the play. Didn't quite see any of that.
Yeah, it came out right away when Silling got the ball, and it's going to be a holding or either a chop block. And, well, holding, they'll decline it. So Silling loses a loss of 6. So 4 carries now for -7 yards, and Santrum will have to punt this football away here for Maple River. Fieldjus and Kramer are the two that are traditionally back for the Lobos. Santrum gets a nice boot into this one. Fieldjus picks it up at his own 33. Fieldjus to the 45, and he makes his way to the 48-yard line for a 15-yard return.
Yeah, the underrated part about this is, the first quarter that the Lobos have had is, Maple River's had the wind here in this first quarter, which led to that kick that, that we just had. But to be able to go into the wind in a big game, get 2 touchdowns in that first quarter, that's a really big deal for LaMoure. There's got to be a lot of confidence in that huddle right now.
The Lobos 5-2 in the season. Their first game of the year was at Sargent County in the Bulldogs' first game in 9-man football in about 15 years, and that was a high-scoring affair, 59-28 Bulldogs. But since then, the Lobos have won 5 out of the 6 games, with their lone loss to North Prairie, 46-34 in LaMoure in that stretch. Play action, Muslin looking, throwing, looking to Carlgard. That'll be incomplete at about the 20-yard line.
A slightly different look there. 3 down linemen this time for Maple River, continuing the 8-man theme in the box. But 3-man, if they're going to run the ball, those guards are going to be uncovered. They're going to be able to get right up to those linebackers. It's going to be, still the numbers work in the Raiders' favor. Somebody's got to win those matchups, though, and make a big tackle for a loss.
Muslin came in 15-28 for 175 yards and 4 touchdowns, and Gunnar Fieldjus through the air, 34 of 78 for 729 yards and 8 touchdowns. So you have to get ready for not just 1, but 2 quarterbacks when going up against the Lobos this season.
When you can have different packages and multiple guys that can handle the ball under center, it certainly makes you difficult to defend in 9-man.
And 10. Muslin lost the ball for a second, but there goes Fieldjus in a literal shoestring tackle by Connor Dahl as Fieldjus gets to the 47.
That was almost another house call for you, Chase, right there. He was the only guy that had a chance to take him down right there. He was running untouched through those first couple yards.
6 carries for 113 yards here for Fieldjus. And you just, again, wonder what is the duration of how you change things up a little bit wrinkle-wise with that I formation as this game continues for Maple River.
Just keep giving different looks, bring guys on blitzes, drop tackles or ends into coverage, a lot of different things you can try.
As Muslin will line up to the near side, Fieldjus will handle it, looks to throw the football here, getting chased, fires, this one going to be incomplete at the 30-yard line. Carlgard had it for a second, and it looked like he was going to put it on his right hip as he was about to go out of bounds, but that's incomplete. Now a decision for Coach Delabar on a 4th and 4.
Kicking into the wind in 9-man football, this is definite go-for-it territory, I would say.
As they will have Juan Cruz is their special teams kicker, both in terms of punting and kicking. Last year in the playoffs, they had a similar spot in LaMoure on a 4th down and 10. They converted at that time to a Tate Mark touchdown for 40-some yards. They will need the Raider 43 for first. Shotgun formation for Fieldjus. Looking to throw, finds it to Muslin. Muslin, he's going to get met at the 44. Depends on the spot. He needs it enough for the first, and we'll see where they give it to him. This might be the chain gang coming out as the white hat takes a look across the way, and they will give him the first down. So they will give him the 4+ yards for that one. And Coach Fontaine is talking with the official on the far side, saying if that was enough of the spot. Again, it's the near sideline from the Lobos' point of view who gets the spot, not the far side. They needed 4. They gave them 4 right there on the spot.
If the head coach requests the chains to come out, though, they need to grant that request to make sure that they come in. Just prove it by bringing it in. It's way too far across the field not to at least give them the benefit of the doubt, bring out the chains.
And that's what Larry Fontaine is asking for it right now.
And underrated, I've striped many fields in my day. Sometimes it could be 9 3/4 by the end of the year when you've striped it that many times. This is going to be really frustrating on this sideline without getting any type of a spot. That's tough.
And they will give them the first down. You can hear it across the way. The Maple River Raiders fans not happy with, at least as what Nathan Hoots was saying, come out and at least put the chain gang out here and see what it officially is. Theelgis will keep it the other way. Carter Bosch brings him down for a tackle, but Theelgis gets it to about the 38-yard line for a gain of 5.
So this can go one of two ways if you're over here on the Raiders sideline. You can either continue to feel bad for yourself, or you can use this as a motivational factor. Hey guys, you know what, maybe we're fighting against more than 9. You use that as a motivational tactic right now as a coach and try to pump them up. You got to stop here.
As right now 119 yards here for Theelgis on the ground, under 3.5 minutes to play in this opening quarter. Third possession for the Lobos offensively. Theelgis to the outside, hot steps a man, picks up a block at the 30. He gets to the 20. Theelgis to about the 17 before Bosch brings him down.
Great block here on the outside on Steven Drogan. They did a great job of sealing him inside. You definitely could tell based on alignment he had outside protection there and didn't quite get the job done. Great rundown tackle though by Bosch.
That's going to be a gain of 18 as they'll get it to the 18-yard line here. So 5 carries for 137 yards. First down and 10 here for the Lobos. One wide receiver splits out to the right-hand side. That's Isaacson. Under center goes Muslin. As Theelgis again dots the I. Hebel, the fullback with a head of steam. Theelgis trying to bring a Raider with him as he hops his way to the 10-yard line.
Is kind of a unique. He's a unique running style is what I was trying to say there. Sorry. He's kind of galloping toward the end zone. He's a tough guy to. He's high stepping constantly. Makes it tough to tackle him low.
145 yards here for Theelgis, but you can see that he's only a sophomore. Who's what the next couple of years can bring for him.
It surprised me the most when I was looking at their roster when I got the stats. I just couldn't believe this kid's a sophomore, but he looked impressive last year when he came in spot duty.
Muslin will go under center again, I formation, and what's broke, not fixed. We'll see if they maybe go play action in the flat or they hand it off again. Well, here's the play action. They're looking in the flat. Here goes Silling, tries to get to Muslin. This one's popped up in the air and picked up by Carter Bosch. Bosch gets the pick. This will be all the way back to 2. The Raiders bend but don't break. The Lobos able to march it down the field. Silling applying some pressure, and by the time Muslin threw it, Silling was about to hit him. The wind may be hung up there enough, but it's a INT, and the Raiders now will have a long road to hoe, but they didn't give up a score.
They're going to have a long ways to go here, but they have an opportunity. That might have been the biggest defensive play of the entire season thus far for the Raiders. Just bend but don't break. They broke the first 2 times, but got a big-time stop now. The biggest goal here is get the thing out of the shadow of your end zone right here and try to, at least give your punter some room to get the ball out of the end zone.
Ball spotted at the 2-yard line here for Maple River. LaMoure-Litchville Marion again won the opening coin toss and elected to receive. That worked out well. One play from scrimmage for that opening touchdown. Silling trying to get it out of the end zone here as he's going to get spun. You got a better view of it, Hoots. He might have actually lost a half yard.
Yeah, he definitely went back at least a good solid yard. When he was spun backwards, it was flirting with it, but, forward progress, plenty of room.
So second down, and we've seen Maple River go under center this season. The safe play would maybe be a fullback trap to Connor Dahl that we've seen a lot of times, but at the end of the day, too, if you can get it, put it in Carter Bosch's hands, very similar to Theelgis for LaMoure-Litchville Marion, he can make a man miss, Hoots, and he could be running for a ways.
It'd almost be interesting to see. I'm going to kind of scoot my way to get behind the play to see where these D tackles are aligning. You know, if you could run an audible and just run it right through this one hole right here. There's no one sitting in that gap. If you could do that, you might be able to get 2-3 yards.
Jones and Wendell are those two defensive linemen that Hoots was talking about here for the Lobos. 2nd and 11 for Silling. Silling goes right up the middle here, picks up a handful of yards back, gets close to about the 5 before he's met for a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, that was the first time that the Raider offensive linemen had not been stood up at the point of attack, and there's no greater time to be a good offensive lineman than right here. Your entire team is relying on you. It starts with the snap. It's got to hit the quarterback right in the hands, and then you cannot get pushed backwards when you're this close to the end zone. Goal here, get 2 or 3 yards.
One timeout taken so far for Maple River. The Lobos have all 3 remaining here. LLM leads at 12-0, and thanks to a couple of rushing touchdowns so far by Gunnar Thielgis, one for the opening score of 65 yards, another a 42-yard rushing touchdown. Under 10 seconds left here in the quarter. As Silling, shotgun formation will come out. A little delayed option here, and Silling's going to go nowhere. Good pursuit here by the Lobos, as we've seen under Coach Delabar, and Silling's going to go back for a loss of about a yard, and that's how we'll end our first quarter of play. Lobos with 2 touchdowns. They lead it by 12 here on your live event.
Maple Valley Parents is a nonprofit organization whose main purpose is to promote, encourage, and support the Maple Valley students, teachers, and staff. MVP strives to strengthen and enhance the educational and social environment of the Maple Valley School District by providing opportunities for students, teachers, and parents to learn, socialize, communicate, and grow together. MVP Group welcomes anyone to join them in their mission. If you'd like to get involved or see upcoming events, check out the Maple Valley Parents Facebook page.
The Maple Valley School District is moving forward with the plan to build a new pre-K classroom, community fitness center, and gymnasium with locker rooms. The classroom will provide more space for a growing pre-K program. The fitness center will provide opportunities to benefit all Maple Valley communities, and the gym will allow more opportunities for all activities of the Maple River Co-op. Plus, the plan is to build with no new taxes. Contact the business manager to see how you can help make this a reality today at 701-749-2570.
Well, it's a good news, bad news for both teams. The good news is if you're the Lobos, after having some bad news with the pick, you made a defensive stand here and going to have to force Satcham to have it in his own end zone to punt the football away. For the Raiders, the good news was you made the stand. The bad news, now you're going to have to flip the field and more than likely give it to a dangerous returner here in Thielgis, who's standing back at the Raider 35-yard line here for LLM.
It would have almost been an interesting decision if they would have tried to throw the ball out of their end zone there on that last play to possibly punt with the wind. This is, you may not feel it, but that wind is really whipping down here, and this is going to be a tough punt. If he gets it out to the 40, it's going to be a heck of a kick.
Satcham with about a yard of real estate behind him. Clean snap. Gets this one off in a nice booming kick. Thielgis will pick it up at the 30-25, and Thielgis breaks a tackle. 20 outside, stiff arms a man to the 15 and gets a 15-yard return. 1st and 10 Lobos at the Raider 15-yard line.
That's the danger of, A, kicking from your end zone, but B, kicking into the wind. And it's certainly going to be, they're in the exact same spot right here. They got to come up with some type of a stop.
4th possession for LLM. For those of you that are just joining us, Gunnar Thielgis with a 65 and 42-yard rushing score so far here in this first half of play. Last season, the Lobos beat Maple River twice, shutting out the Raiders, both here in Hope and in LaMoure. Trying to do that again here this season and pick up a win and clinch a playoff spot here tonight. Handoff, this will go Thielgis. Good tackle coming there by Dowes, but Thielgis again with that head of steam, able to get a good seam for Elaine Hoots, and all of a sudden it's 3-4 yards before he gets touched.
All those gaps at those D tackles last week, they were shooting those gaps and they were almost getting the quarterback. This week they're shooting those gaps, but they just haven't quite guessed yet, or that offensive guard is just, hey, you're going to guess this way? All right, I'm going to push you out of the play, and then we're going to run right off of your butt.
Blaze Isaacson, lone wide receiver to the outside, does have 4 receiving touchdowns on the season. Muslin goes back under center here, handoff. This goes to Thielgis. Thielgis will cut back in, and really good pursuit. Connor Dahl was part of that tackle party with Carter Bosch for about a gain of 1.
Starting to bow up a little bit down here. There was, defensive line did not get pushed back too far right there. Good pursuit by the linebackers, but is this all a game the Lobos are just playing to set them up for play action, get that fullback into the flat like they did on the last possession?
So 3rd down here, they will need about the Raider 5 for the first. Wide receiver of Isaacson, Lesko, and Carl Gard, the tight ends for LLM. Muslin again under center. Hard count gives it to Theogis. Theogis is going to get popped. He's not going to get there. Theogis got tackled coming in right off the bat here for Maple River. Able to come from the outside for the Raiders, applying some pressure. Looked to be Bernstein to start, and then you had Dowes with the tackle for about maybe Hoots a gain of 1.
Yeah, I was just saying, they guessed wrong a couple times in a row, but on a big play right there, he either guessed right or just beat his guard off the play and, beat him off the snap and made a play in the backfield. This is a gigantic play right here.
4th down for the Lobos. They will need the Raider 5. That's a healthy 3 yards for a first, and Coach Delabar wants a timeout. We'll break with them on our City of Hope scoreboard. 4th and short for the Lobos, deep in Raider territory when we return.
It was October 1st, 2009. We needed some machinery for the farm. We decided to see if we could become a dealer, and that's kind of grown into what it's been today.
We offer basically anything short line. Seed tenders, fertilizer spreaders, sprayers. We can really set ourselves apart by the knowledge we have in those things, by the amount of units we have on hand at all times.
I just have a passion for helping people, getting to know people. It just becomes a lot of fun.
Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining here in the first half. I'm Chase Miller. He's Nathan Hoots on the sidelines. Joey Hughes, our executive producer here this evening. So the timeout here, take us through it from a coaching perspective. Hoots, offense and defense, what's going on in the huddles right now on a 4th and 3?
The first time this game they showed it was the 5, maybe even 6 linemen on the field for the Raiders, and I think the Lobos just want to be like, hey, if they go this, we counter with this play right here. A little bit different personnel. They're not lining up in a 6-man front. Looks like they're going back to a 4. Ooh, and a trips look. First time, they're going man-to-man across the board.
Theogis with Kramer to his left in the shotgun formation. Theogis looking to pitch. There it goes to Kramer, trying to get a block. Kramer got enough for the first down. Picking up the tackle is going to be Caleb Dowes on the outside. The Raiders did a good job stonewalling it first. Thiel just did a better job opening up a little bit of a lane, and then all of a sudden there was the pitch to Kramer to finish it off for 5 yards.
That is a gutsy play call, deciding to run option at Silling's side to the left hand of the quarterback, trusting that he's going to be able to make that pitch. The Raiders defended that really well. It was just unfortunate, 4 or 5 yards they got.
As under center will go Max Muslin again, as Theogis will dot the I. Hebel is the fullback. Handoff, Theogis. Theogis going to get met at about the 2. Gets a yard, maybe 2, as they will mark him down at the 1.
Yeah, they may have thought they got him down closer to about the 2 or so, but he landed right on the back of one of the Raiders defenders and then fell forward. They do a nice job of every single time they're getting contact is made, kind of like how, a lot of the Raiders this year, they've been falling forward after contact. Right there, they got an extra yard, and then that was just sneak territory.
16th play of the game, QB sneak for Muslin.
He's in.
And there is the official coming in for the score. Nathan Hoots was able to see it right down to the sideline. Max Muslin with a QB keeper. That's the 3rd rushing touchdown on the night here for LLM as they lead it now 18-0.
I just got up under center, and I don't know if it was first sound, but it was definitely quick. It was not an elongated snap count. They got in there, just beat him off the ball, and the Raiders just, giving up so many pounds in the front. Both guys up front are probably under 180 pounds, and both guys for the Lobos definitely got to be over 200.
For the Lobos, they've ran 11 plays on the ground, 5 plays through the air so far here tonight. Theogis in that 2-point conversion formation. Theogis steps up, fires, comes across the middle on a post pattern caught by Muslin. Theogis to Muslin. It's now 20-0 Lobos on your live event.
RDK Enterprises is searching for candidates to fill multiple positions. These customer-facing positions require a high level of organization, workflow management skills, the ability to work with and lead others, problem-solving skills, and the drive to deliver an outstanding customer experience. Available positions include shop foreman and service technician. Compensation package based on experience. If interested in joining our team, upload your resume at planterdoc.com.
Every Wednesday night at 7, watch the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show, presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region, as we'll hear from area coaches in North Dakota and Minnesota. Plus, we'll highlight area high school seniors and their achievements in the classroom and on the court with our Senior Spotlight. That's the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show, presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation, Wednesday nights at 7 on YourLiveEvent.com.
Other scores tonight across the way, 9-man football. Linton HMB 22-0 over New Salem Almont with 6 minutes left in the first half. Number 4 West Hope Newburgh Glenburn leads 18-0 over Lewis and Clark Berthold. 10 minutes left to play in the first half, and New Rockford Cheyenne all over the Woodchucks. 28-0 over St. John with 8 minutes left to play in the opening half. And number 2 South Border 27, Kidder County 6. And Sargent County leads Hatton Northwood 13-0 in the first half. Those are some of your scores. We'll get to more on our halftime show. Cruz with a nice end-over end kick that gets Carter Bosch all the way back to his 7-yard line. Bosch to the perimeter, though. He gets to the 30, Bosch to the 35, and he gets pushed out of bounds by the kicker. Cruz ran underneath us at the 40-yard line.
In my head, as that ball is traveling past the 10-yard line, I'm like, oh, do you just let it bounce and go into the end zone here because of the way they were barreling down on him? But I suppose Bosch's better idea to run it down the field than letting it go in the end zone, getting the ball at the 20.
Maple Rivers had good starting field position tonight, 42-42. Their own 2 after making the pick. Hoots now at the 40. Now it's a chance to capitalize on it here for Maple River. If you're the Lobos, you got to stop. You get another score. You could really put this game a little bit too far to reach Hoots before the half.
About 180 degrees the other way. Raiders get a score here, maybe get a stop before half. You get the ball coming out. 2 possessions, you never know.
Connor Dahl's the motion man into the slot looking for a little crack-back play. Here goes Silling. There's some crease. Silling to the 10. There's a broken tackle. Oh, look at Silling. Hot steps 40. Silling 35-30. He's still on his feet pushing guys over, and Silling gets all the way down to the 21-yard line. Silling with a run of about 40 yards.
Can we get some syrup down here on the sideline? Stephen Drogan just had about 3 pancakes on the side over here. That was unreal. So they brought Dahl in motion there to try to get that crack back. He whiffed, and it was just a great individual play by T, getting outside of that initial surge by number 28 here on the outside, and then it was the Stephen Drogan show, just shoving guys to the ground. That was impressive.
As it's going to be first down and 10 now for the Maple River Raiders. As Silling able to get to the outside. That's something that we haven't said too much of, a broken tackle from a Raider perspective, Hoots, because, again, LLM always does a good job pursuing but also wrapping up.
They do such a great job of first man that gets there just hangs on for dear life until the troops come.
We'll see Silling, same play, just the near side. This time pitches it out to Bosch. Bosch to the 15, Bosch to the 10. Look out, there goes Carter Bosch down the sidelines. Touchdown, Maple River. Carter Bosch with a house call. 2 plays for Maple River. This one goes 21 yards. And don't look now, the Raiders are back within 2 possessions.
So I think the Raiders heard you say that, hey, a stop by the Lobos and a score and the game's over. I think they heard that and it kind of got a little pumped up here. That was a couple of real good plays.
That would be the announcer's jinx, Suits, but I'm just here to announce the game. And
You're just spitting facts.
We talked about it the other side, right? If Maple River gets a stop, gets the score,
Yep.
They're right back in the game. If the Lobos get a stop, get a score, then you can almost put the game too far to bed.
I'm an eternal Raider optimist.
There you go. Maple River will look for the 2-point conversion here. Well, Silling on that speed option play, they ran it twice, one to the left, one to the right, both for big-time games. This time it's a shovel. That'll be...
They got to figure out these... they keep getting 5 guys off the line of scrimmage. They got another illegal formation.
And we have a flag here, but again, it'll be a legal formation, and it'll be declined. And new score on our City of Hope scoreboard, it's Maple River down by 14.
It's cleaner with Gleaner and less money, too. Find the savings on Gleaner combines at Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North Ada. Now, listen to this. 0.99% interest, less than 1% interest, 0.99 interest for 5 years on all new Gleaner combines, or choose 0% interest for 24 months. These Gleaner combines are getting raving reviews from the demonstrations and from those who have purchased Gleaner combines this summer. Gleaner combines from Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North Ada.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in North Dakota. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the NDHSAA and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
On our City of Hope scoreboard, LaMoure-Litchville Marion 20, Maple River 6 here with 7:46 left to play in the first half. Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. So all of a sudden you look now, Sandstrom will put the ball on the tee at the 40-yard line as Kramer and Theelgis are back themselves here for the Lobos. Satcham surveys the return with 5 up men. Satcham going to kick it to the left-hand side. Theelgis will see this one roll to about the 15-yard line. Theelgis at the 20, and Theelgis is going to get wrapped up there. Good pursuit by the Raiders on the kickoff return.
Dylan Zahn with a great job. You always worry so much as a coach. You love seeing the ball on the ground because A, you get an opportunity to, maybe recover and get possession, but B, you are super worried that guys are going to go flying past because they didn't break down. Dylan Zahn slowed himself down, broke down, and then made a play against a kid that's been almost untackleable here in this first half.
The Lobos have started at the 35, 34, 47, the Raider 15. This is their worst starting field position of the game at their own 21-yard line. Where does LLM go here as this game is 42 minutes old and we have a whistle? As we'll have the flag on the Lobos here. That'll be their first of the night.
I didn't catch what did he motion?
Hands on the hips.
Oh, so okay, got it. So they're lined up off sides. Okay, very good.
Don't see that too often, though, on the offensive side.
Yeah, one of the guard, probably one of the linemen or maybe the receiver was lined up in the neutral zone, so they blow that dead, just like they do on defense. They blow it dead before the play starts.
As, again, I formation with Muslin under center, but now it's 1st and 15 back at the 16. Handoff, this will go Theelgis, and a good tackle at Stephen Drogan. Drogan had himself a game last week against Richland offensively, and this time he has a big A-gap hole, the old Oklahoma drill, and Drogan was able to get a tackle for a loss.
I hope, as an announcer on the sideline for wanting a good game, that the Raiders defense has woke up a little bit here. The physicality has ramped up several notches here. They played very hesitantly. It's almost like they looked at the Lobos on the front of the jersey and go, nah, we got no chance. Now they're figuring out, hey, we can play with these guys a little bit. Just get another stop right here.
But how do you stop the guy at quarterback, Gunnar Theelgis? That's what everybody wants to figure out. He's got over 1,300 yards rushing, for crying out loud, and 19 touchdowns on the season just on the ground. Theelgis steps up, pocket collapses. Theelgis winds up, throws, has a man, incomplete. Carl Gardner was open at the 50, about another little loft of air for a second there, Hoots. Carl Gard could have went to the house instead. It brings up 3rd and long.
So many Lobo nightmares just went flashing through my mind watching number 85
Colton
streak
Ness.
down the field. Yes, thank you. I'm more of a number guy than a name guy, but yes, Ness, anytime he would run that streak, is just like, please let the safety be not taking a nap on this play. When you get a guy full head of steam, coming out of the backfield like 23 was right there, if the linebackers sell out on run, it is good night right there. You just hope that they miss him like they did right there. Big play right here.
And next time I'll see if Thiel just maybe takes it and runs with the football, because he would have had some real estate in front of him with that. 3rd and 16 here for the Lobos. They will need their own 31-yard line for a first. Raiders, they'll bring 3. Thiel just steps up, pocket collapses. Thiel just looking, now he's going to run, gets to the 20-yard line. Drogan's going to throw him out of bounds at about the 21-22. So there you go, Hoots. The run does come, but a little spy coming there. And for Maple River, they force a fourth down.
Yeah, I think they did a nice job. A lot of eyeballs around the backfield there. It looked like they had most of the receivers covered up from this angle back here. So, you know, they're doing a great job of making adjustments here as the game has gone on, kind of mixing up the fronts. They've gone small up front here with, you know, Burnson and Zahn. They're not exactly D-tackle build.
For LLM, Juan Cruz stands back. Bosch at his own 45. That's going to be off the side. It will roll past the 40 to about the 43-yard line. So a punt of 22 yards, but Maple River will have their best starting field position in the elbow territory for their 5th possession of the game.
Interesting, they go back to that same, you know, play style. They brought the slot receiver in motion to try to cover up that outside backer that's caused them so many problems. Nice little adjustment, see what they do here off of that.
We thought we'd see points here tonight, Hoots, and so far we have 26 combined on our City Hope scoreboard.
That's a little, I would say, under the expected total thus far, but you know, it's been a fun game to watch thus far. A lot of big time adjustments on both sides of the field.
Well, now if you're Maple River, you say if you get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, it's a 1-possession game.
Yeah, even just a touchdown.
Just
get in the end zone here. Continue to build confidence, even if you can get something that buries the Lobos deep in their territory. Continue to move the ball.
6'3" junior Silling at 190 pounds here will be in that pistol formation. Silling looks, passes across his body. This one's going to be picked off at the 27-yard line. Goes off of Dowse's hands. Muslin was just playing center field. He picks it up at the 27.
That was a big-time play right there. You know, it was just a hair off the hands. It looked like he had done so much work to get into a soft spot in the zone. He just didn't quite have the energy to jump up and make that play. And deflections, anytime it's tipped or overthrown, defenses typically got to own those ones.
Hey, come on, D, here we go, boys. So for T. Silling, that was his first incompletion of the night. 4 of 5 for 33 yards, and now an interception. The Lobos will look to try to capitalize here quickly as they will handle it at their own 28-yard line. Here goes Thiel. Just speaking of quickly, Thiel just gets the outside of the 40. Can Bosch catch him at the 50? Bosch throws him out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. But right there, one play into Maple River territory.
Holy cow, you might have seen probably you could argue 2 of the fastest guys in the entire, I don't say region, but it could be state, the way they moved right there. That was quite the run down there by Bosch. Touchdown saving.
32-yard rush on the way here for Thielgis on his 13th carry of the night.
A lot of momentum just shifted in the last 2 plays right there. The Raiders need to step up and get another tackle for loss. Something positive here.
191 yards on the ground now for Thielgis. 1st and 10, ball at the Raider 41-yard line. Pitch play to the outside of Thielgis. Satrom gets double teamed. Bosch goes to the outside, and Silling wraps him up for a tackle of about 2, maybe 3.
You know, the initial guy that it looked like had the outside contained was, you know, the end over here, but, you know, Bosch did a great job of flying out from his outside backer spot and forcing, you know, the running back to just pitter-patter his feet just a little bit, stop his momentum, and then good pursuit from the backside linebackers.
I like pitter-patter. That kind of reminds me of my elementary days there, Hoots.
Yes, I couldn't quite come up with what I was trying to say. Pitter-patter seemed to fit.
I like it. Anybody who had pitter-patter on our vocabulary bingo card tonight, you just got an exclamation point. 2nd down and 8 upcoming here for the Lobos at the Raider 39-yard line. There goes Thielgis. He's going to spin into Drogan, tries to stretch, gets about a yard, but it's been 2 things here, right? If the first guy gets there for Maple River, then you get that second guy to come in with the tackle. But, Hoots, if the first guy misses, then Thielgis, as you said, kind of high steps past the secondary, and he could be gone for a country mile.
Yeah, I think good things have happened. They slid Drogan inside here, got him off of playing that receiver that's pretty much been irrelevant thus far. Moved Dowse out there. You got a little bit more physicality in Drogan that's not afraid to hit anybody. We have a safety alert. Be careful.
And Coach Fontaine needs a timeout here. We'll break as well. 4:51 left to play in the half. The Lobos have it 3rd and 7 at the Raider 38 when we return.
In Hope, North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of. where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities. There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota.
Back here on YourLiveEvent.com, I'm Chase Miller, Nathan Hoots, also Joey Hughes on a chilly, blustery, feels finally like fall, kind of a Friday night. Also, if you're superstitious, a week from now is not your strong suit. It's Friday the 13th in October, Hoots. Are you superstitious?
I'm a coach, therefore I am superstitious. I try not to be, and I keep telling myself I'm not, but when good things happen and you wear certain things, you tend to wear them again, or you try to, have the same breakfast that you did that day. A lot of weird things happen when you're a coach.
For the Lobos, 3rd down and 7. Coach Fontaine takes a second timeout for Maple River, trips right-hand side here for LLM. Theolgis, pressure comes for Satcham, can't get there. Theolgis steps up, fires, throws, Muslin at the 5, touchdown Lobos. This goes 38 yards. It was man-on-man defense. Theolgis to Muslin for the house call.
That's the advantage of being as tall as Muslin is right there. He's got to be, 6'4", 6'5", going up against a guy that's probably 7-8 inches shorter than him. Just give him a chance, and that's what they did.
2 receptions, 42 yards, and a score here for Muslin. 2-point conversion upcoming. Theolgis has his 9th passing touchdown of the season. For Muslin, he's 6'5", to answer your question, Hoots, at 180 pounds.
Yeah, that's an 8 inches right there. That's tough.
Up by 20 now for the Lobos as they will come out with a 2-point conversion with Theolgis. Kramer's been to the right. We've seen him do that speed option play to Kramer earlier. This one throws it up again, incomplete through the outstretched hands of Owen Lesko. But we have a new score on our City of Hope scoreboard. After the timeout, the Lobos strike for 38 yards. Muslin and Theolgis on the connection. Muslin with the reception. We're back after this on your live event.
Dakota Heritage Bank, serving you with 10 locations across North Dakota and northwestern Minnesota, has a strong background in ag and business lending, but they can also help with auto, recreational, personal, or home loans, including home equity lines of credit. Dakota Heritage Bank is a family-owned community bank where decisions are made locally. Our friendly staff greets you with a smile, takes the time to get to know you, and can help you with your banking needs. Visit us online, dhbanknd.com. Dakota Heritage Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Agri Valley Insurance is a local independent insurance agency located in LaMoure and Arthur. They specialize in providing coverage for your crop, hail, farm, home, auto, and commercial requests. Agri Valley Insurance has access to many different companies and will work hard to provide for your specific needs. Go to agrivalleyinsurance.com or call your local office in LaMoure or Arthur for a free quote or to discuss your insurance requests. Agri Valley Insurance wishes the best of luck to the area local teams.
Lobos go 73 yards on the touchdown. 1 minute and 35 seconds here for LLM. And it matches their largest lead of the game at 20 here on YourLiveEvent.com. Lobos with 12 points in the first quarter. They have yet to trail, leading wire to wire here in this first half. Cruz with a little bit of a pooch kick that'll come down and roll on the bounce to Bosch at the 25. Bosch gets the outside 30. Bosch looking for a block, cuts back in 40. Bosch to the 45 and stretches to the 46, maybe 47-yard line.
Lobos did a nice job of identifying where the big old soft spot was and kicked it right into that spot, but when you can catch the ball on one hop, you never want to see the ball hit the ground on a kickoff if you're the kick return team. But if it can bounce and hit a guy in stride running, a lot of good things can happen. Had one good block here on the outside by Dahl, spring him for another 10, 12 yards, and away we go.
For LaMoure-Litchville Marion, a win here tonight punches themselves officially into the playoffs. Also a chance, again, to be the number 2 seed and host a home game a week from tonight when they host LaMoure-Litchville. Would a win for Maple River, they could sneak into the playoffs, but they would need some help with Richland beating Hankinson tonight. For T. Stilling, this one gets tipped. Theolgis is there as they were looking for the outside, and Connor Dahl makes it 2nd and 10.
That's the first time in quite some time we've seen kind of that speed option turn into a pass play. Just another little wrinkle. Was kind of begging for it last week to run that tight end seam off of that, but it's a good little thing that they can run, at least have on film for other teams to have to look at as well.
For the games in Hope, North Dakota here tonight for Maple River, this is their 5th game here in Hope. The previous 4, they've scored 48 points per game while they've only given up 17, and the Lobos are flipping the script right now, but still a ton of time left in this first half for Maple River to try to make it again a 2-possession contest, as they will have twins both right and left. Here comes Connor Dahl, speed option play. T. Silling looks for a cutback, picks up a block to the 50. Lobos then will see Silling get close to that first down.
Yeah, you could tell the Lobos were certainly sitting on that motion. Every time they've run that short motion by that inside slot receiver, they've run either quarterback sweep or that speed option. And right there, they were just sitting there. Number 4 just waiting on that outside linebacker spot, forced him back inside, and then just an athlete made a play and got a first down.
Until you said, Hoots, as you're stretching it a little bit, right, the pursuit makes you want to come one way. So Silling just kind of, almost with roller skates, if you will, just kind of came across the side, able to pick up a little bit of a block, and a really good play there by the quarterback, looking around to see where a little real estate is to go run into.
Yeah, my assumption is that T, as soon as he took off, he clapped, got the ball, he saw Ford just sitting there knowing he's coming. He was like, I'm going to stretch it out a bit, look for that cutback lane, because the 9-man football cutbacks can be death.
I formation, Bosch dots the I here. Connor Dahl goes right to left in the formation. Pitch play goes to Carter Bosch. Bosch to the outside, gets about a yard. That is it. Good pursuit on the play here from the Lobos, and Tucker Jones, the defensive lineman, the sophomore, in on the tackle.
There's not many teams that have been able to, consistently contain Bosch inside. When they run that sweep, he likes to get to the edge and then cut it up the field right up the sideline. They did a nice job just stringing the whole thing out. No, you only gain a 1.
2nd down and 9 for Bosch. 3 carries for 21 yards and a touchdown. That 1 touchdown with 20 yards on that speed option play made it a score. The only score so far here for the Raiders. Trips to the near sideline. There's another speed option. Silling gives it now to Bosch. Bosch then's going to get decked. There's a 34 and a 44 for LLM. That's Owen Lesko was in on the tackle. Also in on the tackle with him here for the Lobos. Going to be Henry Lettenmeyer, the freshman.
There has to be a counter to that now. There is absolutely zero pursuit by the Lobo defense. They are just sitting and waiting for that speed option, and if you get linebackers that just sit, that speed option does not work. You have to get them coming downhill at you and then make that read and that pitch off of that first guy that comes and shows his colors. And unfortunately, there's nothing that's making them come downhill right now.
3rd and 9 here with the clock getting close to 2-minute warning, or the 2-minute mark. 2-minute warning, that's only in NFL football. 3rd down and 9, shotgun formation. Silling has time looking for Drogan. Steps up, fires. Muslin trying to pick it off, but gets his right hand in the air to bat the ball down.
Combination of getting pressure on Silling along with being able to play coverage is exactly how you defend this Raider team. If you can get any type of quarterback pressure with 3 down linemen or 2 down linemen and 1 blitzing backer, while also being able to have all of that height and depth deep with your safety over the top, it makes it really difficult to get any type of passing game going.
And it's one of those, too, where if you're Muslin, you're playing center field, you're really just looking where Silling is going left or right as he's moving his body there, Hoots, and he did a really good job batting that ball down because, like you said, Drogan was going on that double move and did have a step there for a moment.
Yeah, I think that throw, if he could probably have it back, he throws it on his drop rather than, climbing the pocket and moving and then throwing over the middle. To the outside is the only way you're going to make this happen.
Carter Bosch motions left-hand side. Silling looking, firing. This one is going to be complete by Drogan after it got deflected. And then we might have had an inadvertent hit here at about the 25-yard line. But Drogan right now with the pitch and catch from the 43 to the 25 for 18 as Dahl kind of got rolled up on.
We have seen a lot of really good catches from Drogan, from Dahl, from Bosch, from a bunch of different guys. That might have been the best one. The concentration to still be able to make the play on the tip. That was a great throw. Probably had 1 receiver, I'm assuming, running the wrong route if you got 2 guys that close to each other wearing blue. But first down's a first down. They need to get in the end zone here.
You talk about levels. That was that, first into the second level right there for the Raiders, as Connor Dahl right now has a little bit of a limp as he's getting all the way out to the right-hand side of the play. And now we're going to get a timeout here for Coach Larry Fontaine. He'll use his 3rd timeout of the first half. We'll break with him here. We'll come back after this on your live event.
R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is hiring a full-time play-by-play sports announcer and broadcast sales representative. Duties include selling advertising time for radio, digital, video streaming, and regional cable TV. Play-by-play responsibilities include live play-by-play of local sporting events for radio, video streaming, and regional cable TV broadcasts. Wage plus talent and commission pay structure with full-time benefits package offered. For more information or to apply, email apply@rjbroadcasting.com. That's apply@rjbroadcasting.com.
High school football here on YourLiveEvent.com. Connor Dahl's going to get looked at. That's a big loss for the moment. We'll talk about that in a sec. Griggs-Dakota leads Enderlin 24-6 with 2 minutes left to play in the half. Griggs-Dakota with the lead. Sargent County all over Hatton Northwood 35-8 in the first half of play. We will keep you apprised of other scores. Currently no score, but from the app that we're using between Richland and Hinkinson. 1st and 10 here for Maple River. They used their last timeout with 84 seconds left in the first half. Carter Bosch, and then we'll have two guys go on motion at the same time, and there's yellow hankies all over the field. Now for Maple River, they will see this one go 1st and 15, or potentially we'll see what Coach Delabar wants with the shift.
I would guess you take the yardage here, but you never know if they'd value the down over the yardage.
And they will value the yardage. So 2 penalties for 10 yards for Maple River. The Lobos have 1 for 5, both teams with 1 turnover so far here tonight, and that was an INT. How is Connor looking for you, Hoots, coming off the sideline there?
He's currently getting looked at while sitting down on the bench. Kind of looks like a knee, but not a whole lot of stuff being done on him. I'll keep you updated.
1st and 15 here for Maple River. Trying to cut this deficit from 20 to 14, if maybe not even 12. Silling will keep this one. Hot steps one guy, then brings a pile with him to about the 25-yard line. Gets the yardage back that was lost, but now it's 2nd and 10.
It's a tough situation running the ball between the tackles. They need to be in a little bit more of a hurry here with the clock ticking down. You need to get in the end zone right here, and there's not a whole lot of urgency.
And clock stops. If you get out of bounds, you get a 1st down. They quickly break the huddle here. Trips to left-hand side. We'll see what Jonah Thompson, the tight end, might be an option play. Well, here's an option, and Silling's going to get rolled, and Ryder Wendell comes in on the tackle. And now we're going to ask him to spike it and get one more play in here to try to make it a 4th and 10. And they do. So the clock stops with 11 seconds. Hoots, is this one where you throw the end zone, or do you have a 10-15 out pattern here? You get out of bounds, and then you have maybe enough time to run one more play.
No, if he doesn't get out of bounds on this play, I think it's a throw into the end zone. I think they really want Drogan on the corner on this end over here. You know, there's a bit of a height differential, a couple inches. Maybe try to pull the same trick that LaMoure did and just throw it to your taller receiver against a smaller DB. The problem is that they want to throw it outside of the numbers because you don't want Muslin to have any type of a play in the middle of the field. But the DBs do a great job. They funnel all of these routes inside. They play an outside leverage, making sure that if they're going to get beat, it's going to go right into our big-time safety.
Shotgun formation, twins both left and right. Pistol, speed, pitch. It's on the ground. Carter Bosch has to try to pick it up. He'll see this one roll all the way out to the 30, about 5-yard line. It won't matter regardless. It'll be a turnover on downs with 7 seconds left to play here in the first half.
I don't know if you saw, was there a guy running deep? Was that intended to possibly be a pitch pass there by Bosch? That's an interesting 4th and 10 play design, the way they've defended the outside pitch. But things get really tough when you know you got to score and there's not much time left. We don't have a no-huddle offense. There's no wristbands. We don't have play calls that can come in from the sideline, so it makes it tough when you get a 2-minute offense.
Lobos will handle it now as Maple River make sure they got Connor Dahl's spot all figured out. With Thiel just in the shotgun formation, the Lobos with 2 timeouts, they can throw something up here. They run the screen play, as this one will be a nice little play that goes to the 50-yard line here, now to the 45, still on his feet. This will be the final play of the first half, trying to make something into a touchdown, unable to do so, and there's a couple of Raiders that got hit pretty good on that one as well. That'll go for 22 yards on the play here for LLM. Theelgis to Avery Kramer at the half. The Lobos lead it by 20 on your liveevent.com.
Hey growers, when working on your water management solutions, call Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. They are your water management contractor, helping you with tile drainage plans, service drainage plans, or both. Remember, water management is a lifetime investment. Call Chad 701-430-0182 to get your water problem solved. For more information, follow Chad's Excavating on Facebook. For tile drainage and service plans, call 701-430-0182. Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
I'm Mandy Latour. I'm confident in the game, and when it's time for college, I'm confident Bank of North Dakota will help me make good student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident.
I'm Darian Bitts. I'm confident on and off the field. And when it's time for college, I'm confident Bank of North Dakota will help me make good student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident.
Triple E Incorporated in Page is cheering on the Raiders as they compete on and off the court and field. They put in the effort to build a team with trust, experience, and the ability to accomplish their goals. The team at Triple E Incorporated is built the same way, with knowledge and experience, with timeliness and efficiency. For your next non-residential building project, go online to eeeinc.com or stop by the office in Page for more information. Make your next project a winner with the team at Triple E Incorporated in Page.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
As we're back here on yourliveevent.com, I'm Chase Miller. He's Nathan Hoots. Joey Hughes, our executive producer, here tonight. We'll get you an injury update with Connor Dahl when we have one. First things first, though, Hoots, starting off for the Lobos, 12 points in that first quarter. They would add on to it in the second with 14 points. The lone touchdown for Maple River right now coming with Carter Bosch. But the real story of the game so far has been the running ability of Theelgis. He has 194 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. The first 2 plays he had from scrimmage, 65 and 42 yards that were both scores. Then he threw for a 38-yard touchdown to Mr. Max Muslin as well. He's got over 250-plus yards of just total offense from scrimmage so far here tonight. He's a problem not tonight, but in the future for LLM. At the end of the day, though, it's a 20-point deficit. Raiders will get the ball to start the second half. What's your opening thoughts in the first 24 minutes here, Hoots?
Yeah, the Lobos they're so versatile and multiple on offense, and you can tell they come in with a game plan. They have an idea of how they want to attack your defense, but then as the game goes on, they just go, oh, there's our advantage right there, we're going to run this. Oh, there's our advantage right there, we're going to run this. And being able to have, as Coach Delabar said, that Swiss Army knife of being able to play running back or quarterback, and then having your other quarterback be able to play quarterback and wide receiver, being 6'5", you can just throw him every once in a while, just one of those jump balls, let him go make that play. It kind of turns those 50-50s into 80-20s in his favor. Just a lot of things that it's going to make it difficult for the Raiders to constantly match up. They'll come out one play, they're in the eye. The next play, they showed that trips look. Just the ability to do so many different things offensively is definitely a cause for concern for the Raiders.
Let's take a look here at out-of-town scoreboard in 3A. How about this? Davie Shanley, 25th Street Showdown at the half, tied at 21 apiece between the Deacons and the Eagles. 11 AA football. Jamestown leads Valley City 7-0 going into the second half. Also South over Bismarck, St. Mary's 10, or that is currently 10-0. And Devils Lake in a barn burner with Fargo North. North 28, Devils Lake 20 after one half of play for the number 1 Spartans in AA. In 11A football right now, Hillsborough Central Valley wins it over the Grafton Spoilers 28-0 after one half of play. In Kindred, it's the Vikings 14, Mayport CG scoreless. And currently in Region 2 and 11A football, Harvey Wills County 14, Cavaliers 6. And on homecoming night down in Lisbon, it's Oaks 6, the Broncos scoreless in that football game. And 9-man scores going on right now. Number 2, South Border looking every as good. They're actually tied for Sargent County in latest media polls. South Border 41, Kidder County 6 after one half of play. New Rockford Cheyenne all over the Woodchucks in the first half, 50-0. Griggs Dakota leads Enderlin 24-6 with just a couple of minutes left in half number 1. Sargent County all over Hatton Northwood, 42-8. Those are some scores from across the way. When we come back after this, first half stats, that's next on your live event.
Let's get real. Get ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. The University of Minnesota Crookston offers more than 35 majors, minors, and certificates. Earn a University of Minnesota degree, where you can make a difference in a close-knit community. Faculty become friends and friends feel like family. You don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, and will get you ready for anything.
Located on the beautiful Goose River in Hillsboro, the Goose River Golf Club offers both recreational and experienced golfers a great round. It's a 9-hole course open to the public, located right off exit 104 on I-29. The Goose River Golf Club in Hillsboro offers annual memberships for singles and families, also college memberships, first-time memberships, and outside 30-mile radius of Hillsboro membership available as well. Men's Day is Wednesday, Ladies' Day is Tuesday. You can learn more about getting on the Goose River Golf Club, gooserivergolfclub.com.
Hometown Community Bank serves both the Hope Page and Maple Valley School Districts. If you're interested in an egg loan, real estate, consumer, or commercial loan, Hometown Community Bank can serve you. Give Dwight a call at either branch location in Page or Fingal. Ask Janine about the competitive certificates of deposit or money market rates. Hometown Community Bank is a community bank and proud of the communities they serve, and they wish the best of luck to the Maple River Raiders for many years moving forward with the co-op. Hometown Community Bank is a member of the FDIC.
Hope Page Public Schools are committed to the development of all students by providing a high-quality education that is reflective of the strong values in our communities. The staff at Hope Page Public Schools work each day to enable and inspire students to achieve academic excellence and make positive contributions to our world. Learn more about Hope Page Public Schools by visiting hopepage.k12.nd.us. We are Hope Page, and we will change the world.
As we return here on YourLiveEvent.com in a little bit, we'll get an injury update with Nathan Hoots across the way with a couple of Raiders getting looked at right now. But first, let's take a recap of the first half scoring. LaMoure-Litchville Marion scored in the first play from scrimmage. Gunnar Thielges with a 65-yard touchdown. 2-point conversion was no good. The Lobos then scored at the 7:06 mark with a Gunnar Thielges 42-yard rushing touchdown to make it 12-0. Max Muslin with a 1-yard rushing QB keeper. Thielges to Muslin for the 2-point conversion. Made it 20-0 Lobos at the 8:52 mark. Maple River with their lone score the first half. Carter Bosch for a 21-yard rushing touchdown on the speed option. And then the Lobos added to it again. Thielges to Muslin for a 38-yard passing touchdown with 4:43 left in the first half to make it 26-6. Hoots, when you take a look at some of the players here for Maple River, Connor Dahl again looked like he got rolled up on a little bit. The knee, I would say, would probably be an area, obviously an ankle. Anytime you get rolled up, those are the two main ones. But also Mr. Dowse here, it looks like he's going to be out of the remainder of the game here for Maple River.
Yeah, start with Caleb Dowse. He has the helmet and shoulder pads taken off and sitting over here on the sideline getting looked at the trainer. And I don't want to speculate about anything, but, you know, there's no tape going on or anything. Unfortunately, a bit of a concussion history. Hopefully that's not exactly what we're dealing with, but and then Connor Dahl, yeah, looking at the knee, just in the knee area. He's got some ice on the inside of his knee. The trainer over here did a little test and stuff, said the ACL seems to be intact and, you know, likely some type of a bone bruise or something like that. It appears that he's going to, you know, ice it during halftime, get warmed up as the second half gets going. You can see Coach Fontaine over here is kind of realigning guys in different spots with the anticipation of maybe having two starters and big-time contributors out here in the second half against a really good team.
Taking a look at the first half numbers, the Lobos with 285 yards of offense, 17 carries for 200 yards on the ground, with a bevy of them coming for Gunnar Thielgis, and they currently have 80 plus yards passing right now, 85 yards passing here for the Lobos, as they currently make that 87 yards passing here for LLM. Lobos led by Thielgis, that's Gunnar, 15 carries for 194 yards, 2 touchdowns. Muslin, 1 carry for 1 yard and a score, and Kramer, 1 carry for 5 yards. Gunnar Thielgis, 3 of 5 through the air with a score and 64 yards passing. Max Muslin is currently 1 of 3 through the air with an interception and 23 yards. Muslin, 2 receptions, 42 yards and a score. Hebel with a reception of 23 yards. Kramer, 1 of 22, 1 penalty for 5 yards and 1 turnover. For Maple River, they currently have 110 yards of total offense, 59 yards rushing on make that 16 attempts. Currently through the air of 51 yards passing, with an interception for Silling, who's 5 and 9. Silling on the ground, 11 carries for 48 yards. Carter Bosch, 4 carries on the ground for 21 yards and a rushing touchdown. Preston Dowes, 2 receptions for 28 yards. Drogan, 1 of 18. Caleb Dowes, 1 for 7. Dahl, 1 for -1. 2 penalties for 10 yards and 1 turnover for Maple River. We're back after this with the second half, where the Lobos will be kicking off next on YourLiveEvent.com.
Farmers, are you expanding, upgrading, or want to automate? Visit with the experienced staff at Hope Electric to learn about the latest electrical systems and the newest technologies that they have developed to make your operation more efficient. Get a custom system in place with features like iPad truck loading and remote view grain storage, touchscreen controls, hazard monitoring systems, and wireless cellular cameras to protect your assets. Hope Electric, serving the agricultural and commercial industry since 1978. Visit hopeelectric.com or call 701-945-2460.
Mother Nature can strike at any time, and Irie Insurance is here to help. Experience the difference with Irie. Get the insurance protection you want with the customer service you deserve.
Home insurance, auto insurance, crop insurance, commercial insurance, benefits insurance.
We have you covered from head to toe, underground to sky. Go to IrieInsurance.com to get a free quote.
LaMoure Hardware carries your everyday items for plumbing, electrical, automotive, and more. Check out their latest selection of Milwaukee tools, from M18 fuel impact wrenches, new cordless 70K BTU heaters, chainsaws, and more. There's over 250 Milwaukee tools to choose from. Plus, browse their sweet pickins section. You'll see brand new furniture and decor. LaMoure Hardware is your community one-stop shop. For more info on all the services LaMoure Hardware offers, go online to LaMoureHardware.com.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
Maple Valley Parents is a nonprofit organization whose main purpose is to promote, encourage, and support the Maple Valley students, teachers, and staff. MVP strives to strengthen and enhance the educational and social environment of the Maple Valley School District by providing opportunities for students, teachers, and parents to learn, socialize, communicate, and grow together. MVP Group welcomes anyone to join them in their mission. If you'd like to get involved or see upcoming events, check out the Maple Valley Parents Facebook page.
High school football tonight here on YourLiveEvent.com. For the Maple River Raiders, they will close out the regular season a week from tonight at Sargent County. We'll have that game for you right here on YourLiveEvent.com. Kickoff slated for 7 o'clock. And the Lobos, they will host Weimar Lidgerwood, the Warbirds, at 7 o'clock in LaMoure. If this game goes the way it is right now and would end up being a final where the Lobos would end up winning, that means LLM could finish no worse than a 3 seed with a chance to be the 2 and host a playoff game. A win here tonight, which they're up on Hat North with the Thunder at the half. If Sargent County wins tonight, they will be the number 1 seed heading into the postseason, and then will be a top 4 seed as well, but number 1 from Region 1. As we get ready for the second half, Juan Cruz will put the ball at the 40-yard line. What are you looking for from a Raider point of view here, Hoots, in this second half?
Definitely need to get the ball in the end zone here on this first possession. Need to get a little momentum in their direction, in their favor, and just see if you can peck away. Get a stop. There are a lot of really positive defensive plays and even stretches there for the Raiders, but when the biggest moments happened, the Lobos came through on top.
On the opposite side, from an LLM perspective, as Cruz, this one will be a live football. Maple River does a really good job at the 46-yard line, taking that crow hop by Charlie Muse. Charlie Muse there, Hoots, kind of had to come to the side, and looks like Carlos Correa, as a Minnesota Twins reference right there, coming to his side and getting on top of that football.
That was a good reference right there. I was a little distracted. We had 3 Raiders coaches and 1 official talking with his back to the field, and 1 official just went sprinting to the school. So I was a little distracted and caught off guard that the play was actually going there, but good baseball reference.
As we have a first down and 10 now for Maple River, as I see the official coming now onto the field. So for there, you only had four in stripes to start the second half.
They were ready to play without a guy on this sideline, which is kind of odd.
First and 10. Here's a little wing tee in the shotgun. Motion man will be Carter Bosch. Silling, option play, and Silling's going to get decked. Really good pursuit here by the Lobos on the outside, as that'll be Silling for maybe about a gain of a half yard, if that.
Yeah, and as we speak, it looks like the ice is coming off of Connor Dahl's knee, and then probably take a little time here to try to get it warm. Actually, it appears that she took it off and she is re-wrapping, so.
Looks like Connor Dahl's night might be done.
I can't tell if no, it looks like she's actually wrapping with the pad underneath. So instead of ice, I apologize, instead of ice is actually the pads. They might be wrapping him to try to get him back in the game.
Second down and 10 here for Maple River, as they will look to option it. They do to Bosch, but the Lobos do a great job stringing it out to the outside. Isaacson was out there in on the tackle, also with him on the way here for LLM. You're going to have Hebel, and that makes it 3rd and 10.
Yeah, it's certainly, you want to say it's limiting because they got plenty of guys that can get the ball in the hands of. You still got Drogan, you still got Bosch, still got Silling, guys that can touch the ball and make explosive plays. Just try not to limit themselves here. The playbook can still be wide open with all those weapons.
What makes Andy Delabar team so tough to go up against?
It's right now. You see where number 4 is aligned and where 28's aligned? You don't see that anywhere. They are so wide and they are so disciplined because they know the tackles inside are so good.
3rd down and 10, option play again. Silling trying to get to the edge, makes one man miss, then pushes forward to about the 50-yard line. Coming on the tackle for the Lobos is Owen Lesko, a junior, but that does make it a 4th and 5 here for Maple River.
Since 2019, since I started watching a lot more LaMoure football when we moved down into the 9-man ranks, it's just they have always had 2 studs line up at D-tackle. And if you got 2 guys that can control the line of scrimmage by themselves, that allows you to give so many different looks. If you can control the line of scrimmage plus have 1 stud athlete hanging out 20 yards back, just making sure nothing big happens, you're going to have a lot of positive plays defensively.
And speaking of positive, Connor Dahl's going to give it a go here as he's out in the formation now to the trips the left-hand side. The Raiders need the Lobo 45. They're trying to give it to Connor Dahl. That one gets batted away on the outside. Looking for a quick screen. Hebel comes in to bat that ball down for the turnover on downs.
Yeah, that was interesting. It hasn't moved at all in the last 20 minutes, and then tried to get him to play in space to make a 2 or 3 guys miss out here. I'd say so. It was that's a tough decision right there.
9:46 left to play. Turnover on downs as the Lobos will have their 8th possession of the game. This will be right at midfield here for LLM, trying to improve to 6-2 on the season, then finish off the year with a game with the Warbirds of Weimar-Lidgewood in LaMoure coming up a week from tonight on the 13th. Under center, handoff, this goes to Theogis. Theogis gets the outside, hops a man, gets to 40, and then gets taken out of bounds by Silling at about the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 15 yards.
I don't know where you saw first contact there, but it certainly looked more than 10, 12 yards down the field. That's a tough look there for the Raiders on the first possession after making some adjustments at halftime to get gashed on that first play in 15 yards.
209 yards rushing now for Theogis. This is after he's coming off a 287-yard rushing performance against Hankinson last week. Isaacson split out one wide receiver. As Isaacson now will go across the way, Bosch now will cover him. 1st and 10 with Theogis again going under center. Hebel is in that fullback spot. Handoff goes right up, and there's a little power play. Theogis bouncing out of one Raider and then eventually taken down to about the 31-yard line.
A slightly different alignment here. You got T. Silling lining up, and typically he's lined up at D end. He's playing middle linebacker here. I think that was a slight adjustment. You know, he unfortunately losing a linebacker or two here as Dahl comes off the field once again. You're going to have to ask your guy that's played DN for the last 2 years to line up and just do as best you can to take away those interior runs.
For the Lobos up front, again, your center of Christensen, your right guard of Tucker Jones, and left guard of Ryder Rundle, and then you have Owen Lesko and Carl Guard at the tight end spots, and Lesko's had to deal with a ACL injury the last couple of years, so good to see him out again in this lineup tonight for the Lobos. And really good pursuit as you have Silling and Boschen on the tackle for about a gain of a yard, maybe a yard and a half there for Theogis.
I guess don't pigeonhole him as just a defensive end. Silling can play kind of all over the place, and Bosch, you would have thought at the beginning of the year would have been exclusively a DB and receiver, and now he's running the ball a ton. He's playing a linebacker position and filling gaps. He's turned into a pretty impressive player here this year.
A 3rd down upcoming for the Lobos, needing the Raider 25 for the first. Maple River, they just have one man in the actual down position right now. Then they got 7 guys kind of huddling around. Play action into the flat. There goes Lesko. Owen makes a man miss the 20, maybe 5. And they're going to put the foot right at about the 25-yard line for that first down. He needed 25, and then Lesko's going to get hit here, and he is holding his knee. We'll take a break here on YourLiveEvent.com. We're back after this here in Hope.
The Maple Valley School District is moving forward with the plan to build a new pre-K classroom, community fitness center, and gymnasium with locker rooms. The classroom will provide more space for a growing pre-K program. The fitness center will provide opportunities to benefit all Maple Valley communities, and the gym will allow more opportunities for all activities of the Maple River Co-op. Plus, the plan is to build with no new taxes. Contact the business manager to see how you can help make this a reality today at 701-749-2570.
It was October 1st, 2009. We needed some machinery for the farm. We decided to see if we could become a dealer, and that's kind of grown into what it's been today.
We offer basically anything short line. Seed tenders, fertilizer spreaders, sprayers. We can really set ourselves apart by the knowledge we have in those things, by the amount of units we have on hand at all times.
I just have a passion for helping people, getting to know people. It just becomes a lot of fun.
Owen Lesko comes back here as he's able to come off under his own pressure for the junior. And we just were mentioning, you know, good to see him back on the field. He gets his first reception of the season, and as he does then, he'll be getting stretched out on the far sideline, and all that you hope is maybe a cramp or something of that nature, nothing more severe, as they'll bring the chain gang out here to the 25-yard line, and this will be the first time we've seen the chains come out in Hope here this season, as they will make the stretch and they will give them the first down. So it'll be a fresh set of downs for the Lobos. Passing Max Muslin 2 of 4 now for 28 yards. The Lobos trying to make a 20-point game to a 26 or 28 here. And then also the clock is there for N-Hoots. You know, as much as they can just, you know, eat up 4 yards, 5 yards, keep another 30 seconds going. That's what the Lobos will try to do here throughout the rest of this contest.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of walking out of the huddles, taking their time, getting that play clock down. There's no point in running any extra plays.
Theogis will keep it, has a little bit of a lane, makes a man miss. That's Bosch, and then finally Satcham comes in on the tackle, but right to about the 15-yard line where they needed the first down.
I think he's going to be just short, but defensive coordinator's worst nightmare is second and less than 1.
19 carries for 223 yards here for Theolgis. Coach Delabar said he's kind of our Swiss Army knife. We can put him all over. He has a receiving touchdown, a rushing touchdown, a passing touchdown. That's the trifecta, the holy trinity, if you will, in football.
Yeah, if you can get a guy that can score in so many different ways, especially in a 9-man, just line him up wherever you want and knowing he's a threat, that's really stressful to a defense.
Shotgun formation, Muslin one-on-one. Theolgis was looking that way. Now steps up, fires across for Isaacson, incomplete, right in front of the goalpost.
Yeah, well defended right there. I think the adjustment for the Raiders is whenever Muslin is going to line up out here, they're just going to shadow him with Drogan. It's a little more imposing of a DB and, not as appetizing to the quarterback when you look over there and see an 8-inch difference between the DB and wide receiver.
Henry Lettenmeyer, a 5'10" freshman, will come out now on the offensive side of the football here for the Lobos, as Theolgis will go to the outside playing that fullback spot here for Lettenmeyer. As Theolgis dots the I with Isaacson, that is, going to the outside at that wide receiver position. Muslin surveys the defense under center. Max, handoff. Theolgis, who gets blown up by Silling. That's a tackle for a loss coming up unevaded. T. Silling in on the tackle.
That was quite the fill. I couldn't tell whether that was just, an awesome fill right there or, he sent him on a blitz, but someone did not account for him on the offensive line for the Lobos.
You mentioned being untouched for Theolgis. No one touched T right there. Might we say a T-bone tackle there, Hoots?
You could certainly call it that.
6:40 left to play. Just had one of my T-bones a week or two ago, wondering it might be the last time in summer to kind of grill that one out there, right?
Exactly right. That's unfortunate.
Shotgun formation here for the Lobos. Fourth down opportunity for the Raiders defense to try to get off the field and get the ball back offensively. Theolgis with Kramer to his right. Theolgis throwing, caught. That's going to be at the 11-yard line. Enough for the first down to Carlgard for 6 yards.
Yeah, he's certainly putting T in a different position there, having to defend, running back in space when he's used to rushing the passer. And the Lobos do such a nice job of getting those fullbacks in the flat. It's all, set up by having this power run game with all the running backs that they have and all the different guys they can give the ball to. And then just being able to have an impressive play action pass game is tough to defend.
Carlgard will have his 12th reception of the season. Shotgun formation again for the Lobos as we're under 6 minutes to play here in this third quarter on our City of Hope scoreboard. Pitch play. This will go out on the way to Kramer. Kramer cuts back in at the 12-yard line. Still up on his feet at the 5, looking to get into the end zone. And he's going to be down at the 1. 10 yards on the rush for Avery.
The officials giveth and the officials taketh away. Who's definitely into the end zone there. But I guess they'll take first and goal and see, maybe they can get a false start to back him up a bit, see what happens.
Kramer with his second rush for now 15 yards here for the Lobos. A sophomore at 5'10", and the Lobos from a year ago, 8 of the 9 starters are new in terms of that starting line. Muslin trying to get a second QB keeper here. He puts the helmet down. There's no signal yet. There it is for the touchdown. Max Muslin for his second QB keeper for a score here tonight for the Lobos.
Did your side official make the signal over there?
Yes, he did.
Okay, interesting. All right.
As they will have a 2-point conversion to make it 32-6 now on our City of Hope scoreboard. That's the only reason I knew, Hoots. I was looking for your sideline official to put the arms up, and then our near sideline did.
He definitely had him short on this side, and I couldn't see where the ball was. His butt was definitely short, but we can say butt on here, right?
Yes, you can.
Okay, good.
Can you spell it is the main question.
B-U-T.
There you go. Shotgun formation for the Lobos. Theolgis rolls right-hand side, pitches. That's going to be incomplete. Looking for Nathan Hoots on the sideline. On our City of Hope scoreboard, Lobos lead at 32-6 on your live events.
RDK Enterprises is searching for candidates to fill multiple positions. These customer-facing positions require a high level of organization, workflow management skills, the ability to work with and lead others, problem-solving skills, and the drive to deliver an outstanding customer experience. Available positions include shop foreman and service technician. Compensation package based on experience. If interested in joining our team, upload your resume at planterdoc.com.
Every Wednesday night at 7, watch the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show, presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region, as we'll hear from area coaches in North Dakota and Minnesota. Plus, we'll highlight area high school seniors and their achievements in the classroom and on the court with our Senior Spotlight. That's the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show, presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation, Wednesday nights at 7 on YourLiveEvent.com.
High school football tonight here on YourLiveEvent.com. Crazy to think a week from Saturday, postseason football will be in terms of minds of fans, coaches, and players, because a week from tonight, everything wraps up, Hoots. So about 8 days from now, everyone will know what the matchups will be like, and then about 15 days from now, it's postseason football.
Yeah, it's crazy. It just seemed like it was yesterday that we were calling the Enderlin and Maple River game here. Just the season really gets into a flow, and, you know, I just hope that everybody stays healthy as they make their playoff push.
As Juan Cruz will put this ball on the tee at the 40-yard line here for the Lobos. A sidewinder kick again, and Maple River able to come up with that at the 45-yard line by Bernstein.
I think if there's one thing that Delabar is going to look at after this game is how can we improve our both the execution of the kick off the tee and you know, the one time they did kick it deep, the Raiders returned it, I think, out past their 40. I think that's one thing they'd probably like to clean up before next week against the Warbirds.
Make sure you stay tuned with us as we always do on our post-game show. Get to our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game, RDK Enterprises feature Precision Play of the Contest. We'll hear from a winning participant or two. That and more are still to come once we get to our post-game show. While you got your quads to the right, one to the left, Silling in the gun. Silling rolls left-hand side, looking for Dow's, and that'll be incomplete right at the sticks as they were looking to the outside there for the sophomore in Preston.
I think T would like that pass back right there. And there was some separation that was created by Dow's. He's going against a good DB over there. He runs nice routes. He really pounded at the end of that route and created some separation. Just pass didn't quite get where he wanted it to.
Yeah, and you're rolling him out to the far side of the field, and as you mentioned, Dow's just kind of looking to see where that stick was, Hoots, and then kind of go out, and he had enough there with Isaacson as he had a step or two on him.
Yep, but I think that's a connection that the Raiders can certainly look forward to next year as well.
We'll see if they go back to that particular play here with the same formation, but it's a high snap. Now it's a broken play. Silling trying to get to the numbers to the 40-yard line. Gets to the 50, picks up a block by Dow's as he's out of bounds. That's going to be a first down and some here for Silling to the 42-yard line.
Great individual play right there, and, you know, I bet almost every single game the Lobos play this year, they're going to be happy with how they defended that right there. They, you know, kind of had him on the outside shoulder, and then, you know, T just kind of gave him a little bit of a hesitation and then got to the outside.
Silling 14 carries now for 65 yards here for the Raiders to lead it for Maple River here tonight. Clock stops going out of bounds with 4:54 on our City of Hope scoreboard. Maple River, the least amount of points that they've been held to here this season is 6 at Hankinson in the second game of the season. First and 10 for Maple River. Shotgun Silling. Looking to throw. Winds. Has a man. That's Thompson at the 30. Breaks a tackle. Look at Jonah go. He's down the sidelines and gets punched out of bounds at about the 11.
But do we have holding or do we have roughing the passer? Okay,
right.
We got a roughing the passer signal from T over here.
31 yards right now on the completion. And it will be roughing the passer.
Roughing the passer.
Just got half the distance then, I assume.
So Thompson with his first reception of the night of 31 yards, and then add the penalty to that for about 6 yards here. So all of a sudden, Maple River looking for the answer and knocking on the door.
Yeah, I think they realize that just spread them out as much as they possibly can and just, you know, attack as any seams that they got. But that was a great route and a great job by Thompson. As soon as, you know, the play broke down, Bosch got out into the flat. Thompson worked his way back to the, you know, back to the play. You just got to find a spot where there are no Lobo defenders. And unfortunately, that's kind of difficult on most plays. But right there, broke contain, scramble drill, made a play.
And Jonah just a sophomore as well, so another connection we'll see next season. Forward to the left-hand side, Silling playing a numbers game here as Muslin still playing that center field spy, if you will. And a nice-looking play. This time it's to Dowse. That had a little zip on it. Silling to Preston Dowse for the touchdown.
Yeah, I am on the opposite side of the field with headphones on, a beanie on, everything. And I heard that thud hitting his shoulder pads over there. You know, you teach your receivers to catch the ball with your hands. But on a night like this, you might want to save your hands and just let the shoulder pads absorb that contact.
I'm going to say, Hoots, if you have no gloves and you're trying to catch that with your bare hands on a chilly night, that is going to leave a little black and blue mark in a good way, but it's still going to leave a little black and blue mark on your hands.
As long as they hang on to it, then it's fine. The pain is, you know, just temporary.
Well, for Maple River, trying to cut this down to an 18-point contest. Both teams with all 3 timeouts left to play here in the second half, and it goes back to the same that we were talking about in the second quarter. You get a score, you get a stop, get the ball back in your offensive hands is what Maple River wants. Threading the needle, Silling incomplete as they're looking for Connor Dahl in the end zone. We're back after this with kickoff next here from Hope.
It's cleaner with Gleaner and less money, too. Find the savings on Gleaner combines at Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North Ada. Now, listen to this. 0.99% interest, less than 1% interest, 0.99 interest for 5 years on all new Gleaner combines, or choose 0% interest for 24 months. These Gleaner combines are getting raving reviews from the demonstrations and from those who have purchased Gleaner combines this summer. Gleaner combines from Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North Ada.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in North Dakota. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the NDHSAA and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
For the Maple River Raiders, they take their second possession of the half for a touchdown as that goes 54 yards and just over or just under a minute, that is, as Silling hits Dowse for the score. Update in 3A football, Davies over Shanley 27-21 right now. West Fargo Cheyenne leads West Fargo at the half 26-12 in AAA football. We'll continue to give you some other scores as they roll in Satcham. This one's going to be on the ground. Picked up here by the Lobos to about the 40-yard line for LLM. Preston Arndt, a freshman, does a good job. That was kind of like an old Sunday hoppin' baseball for another baseball reference, but then it just kind of rolled a little bit more like an old-timers game. Hoots,
yeah, I think you
to about the 40.
I think you could kick that ball 100 times and it doesn't roll over like that. Usually, eventually catches one end and sends it spinning in a weird direction, but that one just rolled perfectly to him.
I hope that's how you end up, if you hit at the golf course tomorrow, that's how your putter is on that green, right? Just nice rolling to the cup.
Mine would end up 4 feet short. 3-putt.
First down and 10. I heard the old adage, if you can 2-putt in golf, you can do pretty well.
Yeah, exactly. I just struggle with that part of the game.
Shotgun formation. Theelgis will handle it. Little option play for Theelgis here on the speed. Well, he's got the speed and some. Here comes the afterburners. Theelgis 30, and he gets pushed out of bounds at about the 27-yard line.
Just a shade late. They had the pitch man covered up. Just a great job. As soon as he realized that pitch man was covered, Thiel just put his foot in the ground, went straight downhill, and then just beat an inexperienced linebacker up the field.
That was nearly 40 yards. Make that 30 yards on the play. That is 31 here for Theelgis now, as he's surpassed 250 yards. 253 yards on the night here for Theelgis.
He's a galloping goose over here. Just every time he's just about to get caught, he gets his feet up in the air just a little higher than normal. Takes away a lot of those shoestring tackles.
First down and 10 here for the Lobos. Handoff. This will go Theelgis, who gets met and dropped. Silling does it again. This for a tackle of a loss.
He's got to be careful here. He's going to put a little too much positive film here at the linebacker position. They might think about moving him into that middle, especially if the injuries are longer than 1 week here. But just if they gotta stack these positive plays on top of each other if they want to try to get off the field here.
Well, and second down, that goes all the way back to the 31-yard line. We've seen Silling do that now twice here just in this quarter alone, come in unevaded, and Field just has had to carry the brunt of that hit. Shotgun again here for the Lobos. Field just will keep it, gets the outside. Drogan trying to take him down, unable to do so, but then we got a couple of flags coming in here as Drogan also took a shot after trying to get the hit of Theelgis, who gets tackled at the 14-yard line.
Yeah, when you have any type of play that ends up like that, and a receiver went downfield and then worked his way back to the quarterback and got a block in the back over here.
Penalties at the 23, and that's exactly what it is. It's a block in the back. In high school football hoots, that'll be a spot foul from the 23-yard line, correct?
That is correct, 10 yards back from there.
So if you're the Lobos, you had it at 2nd and 12, and it's going to be about 2nd and 14.
Yeah.
So you'll lose a little bit of real estate.
Yep. But make them play behind the chains. Try to make another play here if they're going to run the ball to try to keep that clock going. Try to get one here so it's 3rd and 10 or longer. Put them in a position they got to go five or more on 4th down.
3 penalties for 21 yards now here for the Lobos. 2nd down and 14. Field just has some time looking down the field for Carlgard. Oh, what a catch. It was dropped in the bucket. Carlgard with his 6th receiving touchdown on the season, and Field just with an absolute beauty of a throw for 31 yards.
That is not fair for a guy to line up at running back and run for over 200 yards and then be able to throw a football like that. That was absolutely beautiful. The whole time it was in the air, I thought for sure he had overthrown him. But great route, great throw, great execution.
Well, it's also unfair then, Hoots, that he's thrown for over 100 yards passing as his 2nd touchdown as well. 101 yards through the air for Theelgis and 252 on the ground. 2-point conversion here as the Lobos get the answer. High snap, Theelgis rolls, finds an open man, and guess who yet again? That is Carlgard, and the Lobos get the 2-point conversion. New score on our City of Hope scoreboard. Lobos lead it by 28.
In Hope, North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities. There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota.
Dakota Heritage Bank, serving you with 10 locations across North Dakota and northwestern Minnesota, has a strong background in ag and business lending, but they can also help with auto, recreational, personal, or home loans, including home equity lines of credit. Dakota Heritage Bank is a family-owned community bank where decisions are made locally. Our friendly staff greets you with a smile, takes the time to get to know you, and can help you with your banking needs. Visit us online, dhbanknd.com. Dakota Heritage Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Here on YourLiveEvent.com, what for some might feel like deer hunting weather season a little bit here, as that will be coming up around the corner. Currently 43 degrees. Going to get down to nearly 32, 31 tonight, depending on where you're at. Here's a right-footed end-over-end kick by Cruz. That'll take Dowse all the way back to his 14-yard line. Dowse gets up a block at the 20 to the 25, and he's wrapped up at the 27-yard line. Coming in on the tackle is Henry Lettenmeyer, and that'll be to the 27, 1st and 10 for Maple River.
Yeah, on Monday or whatever day they choose to watch the film, whoever runs the special teams for LaMoure is going to go this one right here at the 2:56 mark of the 3rd quarter. That is how we defend on kickoff. We kick it high, we kick it deep, we stay in our lanes, and the first guy down makes a tackle.
The Lobos, 3 minutes, 7 seconds, make that 1 minute and 7 seconds goes off the clock. 60 yards on the touchdown connection, 31 yards. Theelgis to Carlgard, a old drop in the bucket kind of throw. And now for Maple River, all of a sudden you look at that clock. If you don't put something in the end zone here and the Lobos score, we'll talk about running time for the rest of this game. Shotgun, Silling. Silling steps in. Silling evades a sack. Silling looking, firing, gets it to Carter Bosch. But as Bosch went to go try to grab the ball, his right knee popped it out of his hands at the 41, then tried to catch it again, unable to do so. It'll be an incompletion.
Now, great coverage all the way around. Just Bosch is slippery and got open right at the last second. You know, offensive line's got to hold up a little better. Those two guys from LaMoure just constantly getting that pressure interiorly is just T's got a guy in his face too quickly. They gotta keep a guy in to help inside block, protect him so he doesn't have a guy up in his chin on the snap.
And you see both sides coaching, right? Larry Fontaine will tell T, hey, here's what to look for. Then all of a sudden, Max Muslin was talking to Annie Delbar going, hey, if it's a cross, if it's this, where do you want me to go, Hoots? So you're always seeing both coaches continuing to do their job here, no matter who they're playing or where their game's at in a contest. Shotgun, Silling, rolling, pocket collapsing. Silling then's going to get hogtied. 54-44. 54 is Tucker Jones, but getting there is Lettenmeyer, the freshman, for a big sack back to the 16.
That is, impressive. They once again, the two interior defensive line getting pressure. They brought one extra guy as soon as Silling rolled. They brought that third defender, and they were in his face immediately. It doesn't matter whether or not your receivers are getting separation. If you only have a second to think about what you're going to do, it's unlikely you're going to make a great decision.
Loss of 12 yards here, so it's going to be third and a country mile upcoming here for the Maple River Raiders. To your point, Hoots, how many different fronts do you see in 9-man football? We've seen a 2-man front here for the Lobos, as we mentioned. We've seen Coach Fontaine play a 5-man, 4-man front. How many fronts do you typically see throughout the season in 9-man football?
Most offensive, line coaches just, is it odd or is it even? That's the biggest thing to them is, is it a 3 or 5, or is it a 4-man front? And then, 2 just throws everything off.
Shotgun. Quick screen. This goes to Carter Bosch. Look at Bosch go to the 20-yard line, 25-30. Look out, Bosch 35, and Bosch, will they give him the first down? They're going to mark him at the 38-yard line. Well, if it's third and a country mile, getting a man who can run in about 2 seconds, 20 yards, Hoots.
Yeah, it should be a first down based on where I'm looking at the front of this chain. Yeah, there it is. Very good.
22 yards on the pitch and catch. Bosch with his first reception of the night.
It's one of the first times in this game they've been able to block out on the outside and create a seam for that. They've had several times where, they've created one little gap, but it hasn't been big enough. This time they had a good block pushing the guy inside, and the outside guy pushed his guy toward the sideline, and Bosch ran right up the seam.
109 yards here for Silling through the air. Bosch with his first catch. Silling this time QB keeper, and Silling trying to move the pile forward, but that's just kind of like hitting the sled, and the sled's not going anywhere because Ryder Wendell was pushing back.
It's like when you're really excited that you're moving the sled a lot, and then the big old line coach jumps on top of the sled and says, now push it and see how far you go. That was quite the battle they had right there, though. They were all chopping their feet, pushing as hard as they possibly can, and really nobody moved the pile.
Ryder is 6 foot, 180 pounds, a senior. T. Silling, 6'3", 190 pounds as a junior. And those two were like two horns that were locked with the heads collision on the ramps at particular times.
That was fun to watch right there.
2nd and 10 here for the Raiders. Under 60 seconds play here in the third quarter. High snap that goes over Silling's head. He just dives on it back at the 19-yard line. Come on, Kelvin. So all of a sudden now that'll be a loss of, well, you add 10 to another 10. That's about a 20-yard loss right there on that one play.
Yeah, it's tough to happen. Calvin's been so good at that all year long. That's probably only his, third or fourth we've seen here at Hope the whole year, and the amount of times they snap it out of shotgun, that's pretty good. The problem is that nobody remembers that he's been doing it well all year long. They're going to go, oh, he had that one that went over his head. You know what? If you snap it 98% of the time perfect, you are really, really good.
The senior here in Calvin Satcham. You also have a couple of seniors that started tonight for the Raiders as well, with Levi Trader and a Parker Chase getting the opportunity on the line here for Maple River tonight. Down to 1, and that'll blow it, and Orwell will get a flag. So will it be a delay of game and put 1 second back on? And they'll say delay of game here, so they'll have to put a second at least back on in the third quarter. And that'll be a 5-yard penalty here for Maple River. 3 penalties now for 15 yards.
That was tough. I think he might have chopped about 7 times trying to give the Raiders the benefit of the doubt back there as the back judge. But when the entire Lobo sideline knew they had to snap it before the quarter expired, it was hard to get away with that.
So now that'll make it all the way back to the 14. They will need their own 48-yard line for the first. Last time it was in this spot where it's 3rd and 20 plus. You went to Carter Bosch on that quick screen. What do you drop now here, Hoots?
I think this is time maybe see if you can get, I'd almost max protect it and see if you can get Drogan a chance to make a play. He hasn't had an opportunity all game long. Might be the time to see if you can get something in his hands.
Lining up to the left, Bosch will go in motion. Silling will flip it out to the near side now to Dowse. Dowse to the 15-yard line, gets tackled at about the 18 as the Lobos come in there with Colby Theolgis, the freshman, in on the tackle after about a gain of 5. That does it for 3 quarters play. High school football tonight here in Hope on your liveevent.com.
Agri Valley Insurance is a local independent insurance agency located in LaMoure and Arthur. They specialize in providing coverage for your crop, hail, farm, home, auto, and commercial requests. Agri Valley Insurance has access to many different companies and will work hard to provide for your specific needs. Go to agrivalleyinsurance.com or call your local office in LaMoure or Arthur for a free quote or to discuss your insurance requests. Agri Valley Insurance wishes the best of luck to the area local teams.
R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is hiring a full-time play-by-play sports announcer and broadcast sales representative. Duties include selling advertising time for radio, digital, video streaming, and regional cable TV. Play-by-play responsibilities include live play-by-play of local sporting events for radio, video streaming, and regional cable TV broadcasts. Wage plus talent and commission pay structure with full-time benefits package offered. For more information or to apply, email apply@rjbroadcasting.com. That's apply@rjbroadcasting.com.
High school football here tonight on yourliveevent.com. Some other scores. Kindred pitching a shutout over Mayport CG 34-0 after 3 quarters of play. Oaks leads Lisbon 12-6 heading to the 4th quarter in Class A football. 4th down upcoming here as Satcham stands back at his own 5-yard line. He will run into this kick, and he hits a boomer all the way back to the 39-yard line to Theolgis. That was a great punt there on the way of 40 yards to flip the field as the Lobos will come out now with the football.
Yeah, add in the 10 or 12 yards deep. He kicked that thing 50-plus yards on the in the fly. That's pretty impressive with some good hang time to make sure that there was no funny business on the return.
10th possession of the contest here for the Lobos. Their 3rd of this second half. LLM will handle the football here this season. They're pretty much right on their season average where they're averaging 44 points per game and giving up 20 points per contest here for the Lobos. Under center will be Muslin. Frank Martin going right over the spot here for the Raiders. This pitch play goes out to Theolgis. Theolgis 45-50, first down, gets a block to the 45-yard line and then gets met there to the 44 as Carter Bosch is on the ground, as that's going to be a gain of about 17 yards.
Now the way those defensive ends align for the Raiders, it certainly looks like they should have contained. So anytime they take an inside route on the blocker that's leading the way, if they take an inside route, it's an easy block for them. That fullback or tight end just pushes them right to the inside, and now it's just a numbers game on the outside.
Under center, Muslin will go. Hebel will be in there, and also good to see Owen Lesko back playing at that tight end spot here for the Lobos. Handoff, Theolgis to the outside, 40, 35, Theolgis. Bosch is going to bring him down at about the 31-yard line for a gain of 13.
That right guard just shot out of his stance, got out and kicked that defensive end out, and just ran it right up the seam. That was a great job by that guard.
282 yards here for the Lobos. Andy Delabar, former North Dakota State Bison, and you might say that's NDSU just power football right there, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. It was just down kick. So both the play side guard and the center are blocking down, and then the opposite guard pulls and kicks out the end, and then you got that fullback that's getting the first color jersey that doesn't match yours, and it's daylight for the running back. Under
center here for Muslin, with Isaacson lining up on the near side of the boundary. Handoff, Theolgis with a head of steam. Levi Trader was there in on the tackle, but not before they get past the 30 to about the 28-yard line.
Same thing over here, down kick. They do such a great job. They invite the defensive end to come up the field and let him do his job of containing, kick him out with the backside guard, and then just let that fullback take care of that inside linebacker.
With the results that we have right now, Sargent County will be the 1 seed in Region 1. The Lobos and the Warbirds will play for the 2 on Friday of next week. So 7 days from now, the winner will be the 2, the loser will be the 3. The 4 still to be determined between Maple River and Hankinson at this point. Second down upcoming here for the Lobos as they give it out to Isaacson. Isaacson to the 25, numbers 20, stiff arms him into the 15 and gets wrapped up there by Bosch at the 14-yard line for 13 yards.
Yeah, kind of a play that the Raiders have been running a lot, just that quick stop pattern, just throw it out to that receiver and make a freshman DB have to make a play on an experienced receiver.
That's the 6th different Lobo to have a reception here tonight for LLM. As the Lobos quickly get to the line. Again, they put it in the end zone. We'll get to running time here on our City of Hope scoreboard. Muslin under center with Theelgis again dotting the I. Handoff goes to Theelgis. Theelgis looking to break not 1 but 2, but Bosch brings him down, and Carter's had a handful of tackles here in this drive as Theelgis gets to about the 4-yard line.
Yeah, unfortunately, with Bosch is making a lot of tackles, a lot of them are likely to be touchdown savers, and he's saved a lot. The Lobos are doing a great job of just winding this clock down and just keeping the ball in between the tackles and try to minimize how many plays they're going to have the rest of the game.
295 yards for Theelgis on 26 carries. As they will mark it at the 5. If he can get all 5 yards, he'll get to 300 yards rushing. Theelgis handoff. Theelgis going to get met in a good stick here by the Raiders.
Yeah, the combination right there of both Bosch and Drogan came in and really they decided to go low. They committed to it. They put the shoulders into him and pushed him back. First time in a while there hasn't been a big crease created by that offensive line.
So for Maple River, we'll try to find a score between Richland and Hankinson. That's a large game because with this result, if Hankinson picks up the win, then what happens next week is Maple River would have to beat Sargent County. Otherwise, they would not get in the playoffs, and then they would need a Hankinson loss to Griggs Dakota. Barring, again, what the outcome here is tonight in Colfax. 3rd down and 1. Shotgun again for Theelgis. Theelgis rolling right-hand side, pops a pass. It's going to be complete, shy of the goal line, but in on the reception is Hebel.
You know, short of the goal line, but now you got 1st and goal from the 2. Likely, if you don't score on this first down, you're going to take a couple minutes still off the clock with how long they're milking this play clock. So the clock's just going to continue to run.
2 receptions for 26 yards for Hebel. For Gunnar Theelgis now through the air, 6 of 9 with 2 touchdowns and 104 yards. As this drive for LLM started at the 11:53 mark on the clock. So they've milked off 4 minutes and change so far here on this drive alone. Theelgis looking for that quick little slant, incomplete for Isaacson.
Good coverage right there by the Raiders. You know, everybody was covered up and just half a step behind, but he played through the ball and got a hand up, deflected it.
For more information on games upcoming throughout the week, check out yourliveevent.com. As Region 1 volleyball, and the same thing for district volleyball in Region 3 for the Lobos, trying to find out where your seed line will be. All roads lead to the Fargodome this season for both football and volleyball in the state of North Dakota. Under center, 2nd and goal upcoming for the Lobos. Muslin, QB keeper, as he rolls left-hand side, and he finds Lesko. Owen Lesko with his 2nd reception of the season. That's his 1st receiving touchdown, and they put it in the end zone with a new score on our City of Hope scoreboard. It's 46-12.
Just that consistent threat to have that fullback make it look like he's coming through and going to lay the wood on a lead block, and then he sneaks into the flat. If that quarterback sells that at all, they have an opportunity to make some big plays.
Point after attempt here for Juan Cruz will come on for the PAT. Theologist will be the holder. The snapper on the way here is Maddox Shockman here for the Lobos. Clean snap. Here's the right-footed kick by Cruz. It's blocked at the line. Trader put his left mid up there and able to block it away. But with 6:33 left to play in the ball game, 46-12 Lobos on your live event.
Hey growers, when working on your water management solutions, call Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. They are your water management contractor, helping you with tile drainage plans, service drainage plans, or both. Remember, water management is a lifetime investment. Call Chad 701-430-0182 to get your water problem solved. For more information, follow Chad's Excavating on Facebook. For tile drainage and service plans, call 701-430-0182. Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
I'm Mandy LaMoure. I'm confident in the game, and when it's time for college, I'm confident Bank of North Dakota will help me make good student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident.
I'm Darian Bitts. I'm confident on and off the field. And when it's time for college, I'm confident Bank of North Dakota will help me make good student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident.
It was close.
High school football here tonight on yourliveevent.com. Chase Miller, Nathan Hoots, Joey Hughes with you here from Hope, North Dakota, where we'll get to some final scores that are trickling in. 3A football out west, Bismarck Century all over Legacy, 41-13 here tonight in high school football. At the half, number 1 Velva Drake Animus, 26-6 over Shiloh. In Class A football, we'll get to that. Some other stats and a whole lot more so far of the night for Field. Just 27 carries for 295 yards and over 100 yards passing with a handful of touchdowns. This one will be on the reverse to Bosch. Bosch gets to 25, 30. Bosch still moving, 35. Look at him go. He runs underneath us. Bosch, 40, 30. Bosch, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Maple River.
Flag on the play.
My assumption when they moved the flag to a different spot, that was likely some type of an illegal block. I thought maybe at the beginning it was a face mask, but you don't need to move the flag when it's a face mask.
And it will be a face mask, but it'll be on Maple River.
Maple River.
As the White Hat said, it was again, face mask on Maple River back at the 34. That's where he pointed. So right now, trying to make sure we get everything figured out. Otherwise, it would be Dow's to Bosch on the reverse for a touchdown to make it 46-18. But the White Hat pointed towards the Maple River side when he said the face mask. So we're going to
see if I can hear anything.
See what we have called. We've seen that for Bosch and Maple River run that play a time or two throughout the season where you get that particular kickoff and then you come on a full head of steam with Carter Bosch.
Yeah, it is going to be on LaMoure.
Okay, so Carter Bosch gets the touchdown. The face mask is going to be, and we'll see where they will put the 2-point conversion. The first thing I saw from up here, Hoots, was a face mask pointed towards Maple River side.
Right, but if you are officiating, you don't need to adjust where your flag is based on where the face mask occurred, and you saw him stop officiating, pick up his flag, and move it, which typically means, I didn't throw it to where it needed to be. It was a spot foul. Face mask is not a spot foul. And then, thankfully, one official decided to run with the play and officiate the rest of the play.
So Bosch gets the touchdown here on the reversal. Able to break a couple tackles, went right underneath us here, kind of like a magic man, if you will, just kind of going out of nowhere. As the point after attempt coming here for Calvin Satchram as he will try to get the PAT. There's a snap, hold, right-footed kick by Satchram is up, and it's good. So Calvin Satchram gets the point after attempt here, 46-19. Lobos out in front on your liveevent.com.
Triple E Incorporated in Page is cheering on the Raiders as they compete on and off the court and field. They put in the effort to build a team with trust, experience, and the ability to accomplish their goals. The team at Triple E Incorporated is built the same way, with knowledge and experience, with timeliness and efficiency. For your next non-residential building project, go online to eeeinc.com or stop by the office in Page for more information. Make your next project a winner with the team at Triple E Incorporated in Page.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
Back here on YourLiveEvent.com, 6:15 left to play here in this contest. 46-19 Lobos over the Maple River Raiders. As the Lobos are making a quick substitution as a guy's literally running on the field as Satcham kicks this ball off. We got flags on the far side as that ball goes out of bounds.
Yeah, I think he definitely wanted to kick the top of that ball, and he just caught it more towards the equator, which allowed it to be more of a line drive rather than a big hopper.
So the ball will go out of bounds here. Lobos will take over for their 11th possession of the game. And if you're LLM right now, again, don't need to be in any hurry by any stretch of the imagination. You'll gladly take 5 yards, 6 yards, keep moving the ball forward here as they will handle it now at their own 45-yard line. 6:15 left to play. In this fourth quarter, the Lobos will improve to 6-2 on the season. With this result, the Raiders will drop to 5-3. As the Lobos right now getting some fresh new faces into the contest. Mason Workin, the freshman, will be under center here. Workin, handoff. Lobos get back to the original line with Avery Kramer. As now it's going to be 2nd and 10.
You know, this point last year when the spread got a little bigger toward the end of the game, we kind of got introduced to a guy named Gunnar Thielgis. I don't know if he was wearing the same number or anything like that, but it was kind of like, holy cow, this kid's got some good feet. He's strong, and I think he's turned into a pretty good player.
On this Lobos team again, from last year in the playoff game when they played Maple River, they had 8 seniors in the starting 9 on the offensive side of the ball. So there was going to be some turnovers, some different places, as this is going to be pitched out to the near sideline here for the Lobos, able to spin and not going to get anything as Silling gets the tackle after a McGoy, a run here by Trace.
Yeah, the number one goal right here for LaMoure. If you can get a first down, that'd be great, but keep the ball in bounds 3 consecutive plays, maybe try to kick it and pin them deep.
So 3rd down and 10 upcoming here. As some new faces coming in. Trace, a junior at 5'9" and 140 pounds.
They must have a 3rd down and long package with their JV, so bringing the starters back in here for this 3rd down. Probably just want to keep the ball the rest of the game would be my assumption, try to get the first down here.
As Thielgis will go in the shotgun formation under 5 minutes to play. And now Avery will line up to the right here of Thielgis. Thielgis looking for a throw, pocket collapses here, and Levi Trader going to be part of the tandem to get him down with Jonah Thompson there. That'll be a loss of about 1 yard.
Good pressure there by the defensive lineman there. Levi Trader got a good jump off the ball and resulted in a big-time play, and they'll hopefully force a punt here for the Raiders, first one all game.
For Juan Cruz, he will come out and punt this football away. For LLM, we saw a punt at the midway point of the second quarter. But outside of that, yeah, this will just be the second one here for the Lobos tonight. Cruz, right-footed line drive kick. It'll bounce to about the 30 and roll to the 28-yard line here for Cruz. So about a punt of just nearly 30 yards. With 4:02 left to play in the fourth quarter, Maple River will get the ball back offensively. For Maple River, Connor Dahl out there trying to play through a little bit of an injury as he got rolled up late in that second quarter. And it's tough, Hoots. You know, when you come to the end of the season here, you know, talking with some of these players, their aspirations coming into the year was make another playoff run, right? First year of the co-op last year, they were able to do so. Second year of the co-op this year, and there's still a chance for it, but now a lot of stuff has to go your way entering that final week.
Sure, but I think with, you know, you said LaMoure lost a lot of seniors. Maple River's in the same boat. They lost a lot of really quality seniors last year.
1st and 10. Motion man is Bosch. Silling as time to throw. Now being chased. Silling looking to the 30, 35-yard line. Silling makes something out of nothing for a gain of 7.
don't think there were many players on the field there wearing blue that knew what was going on. The lineman got off the ball a little slow. Bosch didn't go out in motion, so something wasn't quite all together for all 9 there.
And you mentioned about Maple River, again, you lose a couple of all-region, all-state players. You know, when you lose a bell cow like a Clay Hovelson, all of a sudden you add a Carter Bosch, though, this year. That definitely helped balance that out a little bit. And you're in a very difficult region, you know, all these quality programs with the Warbirds, the Lobos, with the Hankinson Pirates.
Yeah, you know, if a team in this region, like the ones you just mentioned, are down, it's for a year or 2, and then they retool and they get right back on the horse. There's so many programs here that have a really proud traditions.
2nd and 4 upcoming. Handoff. This will be to Dahl. Dahl gets to about a hard-earned yard here. And that'll be about it. That'll be Dahl's first run of the night for a gain of 1.
Yeah, I haven't seen a whole lot of interior runs, and I think that had to have been a part of the game plan coming in. Is just we're not going to be able to run the ball against those front 2 with how good the linebackers are right behind them, and it's been a lot of horizontal movement for the Raiders offense tonight.
Well, I remember Garrett Hebel last year as an example. You would talk with coaches and you'd say against a lot of teams in 9-man football, a 10, 15-yard run, you know, would be pretty good. Against LaMoure, that might be a 3-yard run,
right,
just because of how they angle hoots and also take really good pursuit to the football.
Yeah, I remember when they came here first game last year. It was the fastest 9-man team I had ever seen play, and it wasn't even a bunch of just speedsters. They were built well and they were strong and just complete football players.
3rd down speed option upcoming here. They pitch it. That's going to go to Bosch, and well, there's the speed on display right on cue for the Lobos, taking down Owen Lesko, the junior, in on the tackle for a loss.
Just so many plays. He is in great position all game long. He runs plays down from behind that guys typically can't do.
So makes it 4th down upcoming now here for the Maple River Raiders with 100 seconds left to go on our City of Hope scoreboard. Still to come on our post-game show. Final stats, a look ahead to the final week of the regular season, that and more. Plus, we'll get to our post-game conversation. As Satrom will handle this one with the punt. Right-footed. This is a high, skyrocketing kick. It'll bounce at the 34-yard line and take a roll and drop there at the 30. If we were in the metronome here, Hoots, I might have said that might have hit the Teflon a little bit.
Yeah, that was skied. That was something you'd like when you had that wind blowing behind you about an hour and a half ago. That would have been the one you wanted. That would have probably went into the end zone.
37-yard punt, and all that the Lobos have to do is take a knee once or twice, and this one will wrap it up here tonight in Hope. Well, from the shoot, the Lobos started off the game with a 6-0 and then a 12-0 lead after 1 quarter play. They never relinquished it. Kind of were teetering between that 20 to 26 point mark for a majority of tonight's contest. Lobos got it, saw that lead down to 14 midway point of the 2nd quarter, and then they were able to come back and answer with a touchdown, and they never looked back. Lobos here, Hoots, again, very quality program. Their 2 losses this season to North Prairie and to Sargent County, 2 teams who feel like they can make the run in their own right to the Dakota Bowl, and this will be a tough out no matter what happens with their game with the Warbirds a week from Friday, whoever has to play them in that first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, there might not be a better 9-man game to go to and watch next week than the Wyoming-LaMoure game. That should be a lot of fun, and you know, both coaches will know how important they've made deep postseason runs in the past, and if you have to play that first game on the road, it makes for a really long, hard journey to the Dome. Getting 1 game at home and then maybe hope for an upset. Maybe you can get another one at home later in the playoffs. It'll be a big game next week.
Your final on our City Hope scoreboard: LaMoure-Litchville Marion 46, Maple River 19. The Lobos will clinch no worse than a 3 seed from Region 1. If they beat the Warbirds a week from tonight, they will be the 2 seed. The Lobos now 6-2 overall and 6-1 in Region 1. Maple River drops to 5-3 on this season, and they drop to 4-3 in Region 1. We'll know more after the final in Colfax between Richland and also Hankinson, what that means for Maple River going into the final week of the regular season with their playoff aspirations. We're back after this from Hope with our post-game show. Stay with us here on YourLiveEvent.com.
Let's get real. Get ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. The University of Minnesota Crookston offers more than 35 majors, minors, and certificates. Earn a University of Minnesota degree, where you can make a difference in a close-knit community. Faculty become friends and friends feel like family. You don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, and will get you ready for anything.
Located on the beautiful Goose River in Hillsboro, the Goose River Golf Club offers both recreational and experienced golfers a great round. It's a 9-hole course open to the public, located right off exit 104 on I-29. The Goose River Golf Club in Hillsboro offers annual memberships for singles and families, also college memberships, first-time memberships, and outside 30-mile radius of Hillsboro membership available as well. Men's Day is Wednesday, Ladies' Day is Tuesday. You can learn more about getting on the Goose River Golf Club, GooseRiverGolfClub.com.
Back here on YourLiveEvent.com, Chase Miller, Nathan Hoots, alongside Joey Hughes. Let's get to our post-game show. And first things first, our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game. Enbridge Energy, Enbridge.com for career opportunities. Go online again to Enbridge.com. And no surprise here, the sophomore Gunnar Thiel, just 398 yards of total offense, 294 on the ground, 104 through the air, on top of a 65-yard rushing touchdown, a 42-yard rushing touchdown, a 38-yard passing touchdown, and a 31-yard passing touchdown here for Gunnar Theologist. He is our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game. We go from there to our RDK Enterprises Feature Precision Play of the Contest. Well, again, no surprise, Gunnar Theologist, as he threw a whale of a football on the way to Carlgard for a 31-yard touchdown. That happened in the third quarter for that strike, and it was just right in the bucket when you needed it on a 3rd and long. Theologist to Carlgard. That is our RDK Enterprises Feature Precision Play of the Game, with locations in Hillsboro and Drayton. Visit planterdoc.com. That is planterdoc.com. RDK Enterprises is here to help you. Nathan Hoots, final thoughts here in this one before we get to some of our post-game conversation with Coach Delabarne alongside Gunnar Theologist here in a moment. What was your biggest takeaway in this four-quarter affair?
I think it was really nice to be able to see this LaMoure team in person. We talked about several times during the game. They had 8 seniors that they graduated last year, and so many people would say, oh, it was those 8 seniors that carried them to all those wins that they had. But you know what? When you win games by as many points as they did, a lot of these guys that are playing tonight got a lot of playing time, and that gave them, the confidence. And it is a winning tradition. It's a winning program, and it's something that they built from the ground up. And it's they're a juggernaut. They are sound offensively and defensively. Fundamentally, you can tell that Coach Delabarne does not take days off when it comes to teaching the fundamentals, because everything seemed really, really sound tonight.
For the Lobos, they pick up the victory, 146 yards passing, 3 touchdowns and 1 interception through the air. T. Silling the other way was able to go 114 yards receiving with an interception as well. We'll take a quick break. When we come back after this, we'll hear from some of the victorious Lobos. That is coming up around the corner next.
Hometown Community Bank serves both the Hope Page and Maple Valley School Districts. If you're interested in an egg loan, real estate, consumer, or commercial loan, Hometown Community Bank can serve you. Give DeWitt a call at either branch location in Page or Fingal. Ask Janine about the competitive certificates of deposit or money market rates. Hometown Community Bank is a community bank and proud of the communities they serve, and they wish the best of luck to the Maple River Raiders for many years moving forward with the co-op. Hometown Community Bank is a member of the FDIC.
Hope Page Public Schools are committed to the development of all students by providing a high-quality education that is reflective of the strong values in our communities. The staff at Hope Page Public Schools work each day to enable and inspire students to achieve academic excellence and make positive contributions to our world. Learn more about Hope Page Public Schools by visiting hopepage.k12.nd.us. We are Hope Page, and we will change the world.
As we continue now on our post-game show, Nathan Hoots standing by with Andy Delabar from LaMoure-Litchville. Marion, take it away, Hoots.
All right, Coach Delabar, coming into this year, I bet you probably had community members, media members saying, Coach, you lost 8 seniors. That team, or those guys, carried your team the last 2 or 3 years, to the heights that this program has seen. Talk to me about how fun it's been just to coach this group of guys up that maybe didn't contribute as much as those guys did in years past, and what they've done from the first day of practice in August to tonight.
Yeah, there's a lot to digest there because we have come a long way from day one, and that was early on the talk of, well, you guys will be good, but how good? And I think this team is really showing that how much they've grown from, again, fall camp until going into week 9 here next week. So we're a team that's green and growing, and we're kind of really running with that here now as our motto. We're not peaking yet. We're just going to keep getting better.
All right, talk to me about your defensive linemen. You guys line up 2 defensive linemen. You kind of it looks like, hey, if you guys can absorb those front 3 or 4 guys that they put up front, our defense is extremely multiple. We can do a lot. Talk to me about those 2 guys, along with having Muslin in the back, just being able to clean everything up.
Yeah, that's a really important part of our defense. Ryder and Tucker, they've done a phenomenal job this season. Again, filling both roles that were last year were some pretty big dudes, and so they're doing an awesome job. They're physical, they're fast, they got good hands, and that's another big part of that defensive line spot. And it's trust. It's our defense is trusting each other and everyone's responsibilities and their alignments, and having Max back there being able to cover a lot of ground like he does. It makes you feel a lot better as a defense coach.
Okay, next week you got the 2 seed on the line when you go to play LaMoure-Litchville. The challenges of facing a Coach Strenge coach team, along with the pressure that you have knowing that if you get this win, you get a home game to open up playoffs.
Well, I know Coach Strenge and we both saw our game and probably circled it on the schedule. We enjoy playing each other. It's a fun atmosphere. It's a fun game. The kids are really bought into the rivalry. I think that's been built, and both teams are going to know what's on the line, and it's going to be a fun game. We're sure they're going to be fired up, ready to play, and I know they will too.
All right, congratulations on the win, and good luck next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to go right into Gunner here. Gunner, you had almost 400 yards of total offense tonight. As I was watching you play for the first time this year, I was racking my brain trying to figure out a comp in the NFL that you kind of remind me of. I can't think of one. So when you watch football, what player do you try to replicate on the field?
Taysom Hill. I'm a big Saints guy. Taysom Hill, he's kind of a do-it-all guy, kind of like me, but I just go out there, try and do what's best for the team, and get a win.
Hey, that was a great one. I couldn't come up with one. I was thinking maybe Christian McCaffrey with, you've caught a touchdown, you've thrown for a touchdown, you ran for a touchdown. Your offensive line created gigantic seams for you all game long. Just talk to me a little bit about what it's like playing behind that guy.
Yeah, they're not the biggest line, but they're tough, and they can move bodies if they stay low. Yeah, the holes were wide open tonight. Made it easy for my job. I just had to break a couple tackles and off to the races.
I'm going to ask the same question that I asked your coach. Next week, you got LaMoure-Litchville. You got a home playoff game on the line. What is it that Coach Delabar you think is going to stress all week long to you guys going into a big matchup with the Warbirds?
I think tackling. We missed a couple tackles on kickoffs. If we wrap up and tackle them to the ground on the first guy, I think we'll be fine.
All right, congratulations. Great game, and good luck next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That again, Nathan Hoots with Andy Delabar, and alongside Gunnar Thielges. We'll take one quick break. When we come back, final numbers. That's next from Hope.
Farmers, are you expanding, upgrading, or want to automate? Visit with the experienced staff at Hope Electric to learn about the latest electrical systems and the newest technologies that they have developed to make your operation more efficient. Get a custom system in place with features like iPad truck loading and remote view grain storage, touchscreen controls, hazard monitoring systems, and wireless cellular cameras to protect your assets. Hope Electric, serving the agricultural and commercial industry since 1978. Visit hopeelectric.com or call 701-945-2460.
Mother Nature can strike at any time, and Irie Insurance is here to help. Experience the difference with Irie. Get the insurance protection you want with the customer service you deserve.
Home insurance, auto insurance, crop insurance, commercial insurance, benefits insurance.
We have you covered from head to toe, underground to sky. Go to IrieInsurance.com to get a free quote.
So we take a look at the final numbers here tonight in Hope for both teams. Just by himself, Gunnar Thielges with 398 yards of total offense and 4 touchdowns here. As for the Lobos, they would eventually rush for in this game 311 yards, 457 yards of total offense. Max Muslin, 2 keepers, 2 touchdowns for 2 rushing yards. Muslin through the air, 4 of 6 with a touchdown and a pick. Gunnar Thielges, 6 of 10 with a couple of touchdowns, 2 here on the ground through the air. Muslin, 2 catches for 42 yards and a score. Carlgard, 2 for 37 and a score. Lesko, 2 for 6 and a score. Hebel, 2 for 26. Kramer, 1 for 22. Isaacson, 1 for 13. 3 penalties for 1 turnover, 3 penalties for 21 yards. For the Maple River Raiders, Silling through the air here tonight with 114 yards. In the first half, he was 5 of 9. You add that to it, so 9 of 16 with an interception that was deflected. Silling 18 carries for 41 yards. Bosch 6 for 19. Dahl 1 of 8. Preston Dow's 4 catches for 39 yards make it 37 yards in the contest and a touchdown. Drogan 1 for 18. Bosch 1 for 22. Caleb Dow's 1 for 7. Thompson 1 for 31. And Dahl 1 of -1. 3 penalties, 15 yards, and 1 turnover. So here's what it looks like moving forward. Is Nathan Hoots already alluded to it a little bit here. Is the Lobos, they know what they're playing for. A home playoff game, and if you win that, maybe if you get lucky and upset happens, then you get to host a quarterfinal round game on top of it. While for the Raiders, I just checked, did not see a final here tonight, Hoots, between Richland and alongside Hankinson. So assuming either side of the coin, a win for Hankinson, which would mean then the Raiders would need to win and a Hankinson loss, and that's exactly what they need regardless because Hankinson owns the tiebreaker. So no matter what happens tonight because of the loss here for Maple River, what they know is this. Either one, Hankinson needs to lose tonight, then lose at Griggs, then Maple River's the 4th seed no matter what. Or if Hankinson wins one of those final 2 games tonight or at Griggs, then they need to go in at Sargent County. Or if Hankinson wins out, they're in regardless. So we know the odds now, but for Maple River, there's still a chance to make the playoffs. That's the good news. The bad news is you're going up against one of the best teams in 9-man football here this season, a week from tonight, Hoots, on the road in Sargent County.
Yeah, and it's tough when you lose a game like this that you knew that you probably needed to get. It's a mindset on Monday when they come to watch film and get ready for Sargent County. It's hey guys, we have an opportunity. We get to go play Sargent County. It's not hey we have to go play them. If that mindset is drilled into them from the beginning, it gives them an opportunity to have a really good week of practice, and a really good week of practice is what you need in order to prepare for a team like Sargent County.
It's going to be a difficult task against anybody. Ask the Lobos from week 1 of the season what Sargent County brought to the table. On the opposite side, after hearing from Coach Delabar and Gunnar Thielges, like I said earlier, I don't know if I want to see LLM opposing me, whether I'm home or on the road, because they have some weapons, and if Thielges can play anything like this and then they make those tackles the way they can, this is a team that's learning every week with sophomores and juniors with a little sprinkle of senior seasoning on top here, Hoots. This could be a dangerous team for LLM that probably doesn't have the expectations on them like they did last year and 2 years ago after winning a state championship.
And it's not just the players, it's the championship pedigree. All of these guys have gone through really lengthy seasons the last couple of years. They know what it takes. They've watched the preparation by the upperclassmen above them, and they know that it's not just, they're not going to be handed anything. They're going to have to go out and get every single win here on out.
Hoots, thank you so much for everything this season up, and hope this is our last home game together, so I want to appreciate you taking the time, spending some time with us and away from your family, so thank you so much for everything with you and Brandon up here helping us out throughout the season.
Hey, thanks for having me. I really enjoy it.
Let's take a look at some other final numbers here from scores before we bid adieu here. Bismarck Century picks up a win over Legacy, 25th Street Showdown. Shanley remains unbeaten, 42-28 over Fargo. Davies South leads by 4 with just minutes to play over Bismarck St. Mary's in AAA. In AA football, Jamestown over Valley City, 33-14. Also, Fargo North leads 40-28 late in the fourth quarter over Devils Lake. In 11A football here earlier tonight, Kindred routs Mayport CG 40-0. Oaks defeats Lisbon 18-6, which means Oaks would be the 3 seed, Lisbon would be the 4 seed. Central Cass picks up a win over EEK 34-7. And in 9-man football, Take a look at some scores that were in Region 1 here tonight. Griggs-Dakota over Enderlin 52-32 late in the fourth quarter. Sargent County defeats Hatton Northwood 56-14. That game has gone final. Still no score again with Richland and Hankinson in 9-man football. Make sure you go to yourliveevent.com for more games throughout the season. Maple River travels to Sargent County. We'll have that game a week from today at 7 o'clock here on yourliveevent.com, while the Lobos close out the year against LaMoure-Litchville. If they win, they will be a 2 seed and host a playoff game from Region 1. If they lose, Warbirds are the 2. Lobos then would be the 3 and have to go on the road, which looks like it could be potentially a North Prairie rematch in that opening round when those two teams have already played here this season. On behalf of Nathan Hoots and Joey Hughes, I'm Chase Miller. Thanks so much for tuning into the broadcast, and for more information, again, go to yourliveevent.com. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night and weekend. Lobos pick up the win 46-19.